Let's try best ball drafting using RBRB. Now, I won't force it. I'm going to try to do my best to accomplish an RBRB beginning to my draft tonight. And if you want to draft with me, you want to hit this link right here. The link's in the description of the video. The link is in the description of every video. I just dropped it in the live chat. Code Smitty also gets it done, but the link will have you getting a 50% match on your first deposit up to $250. So make sure you hit the link that I just dropped in the live chat and get that app downloaded and use code Smitty if for any reason you're downloading it without using the link. The link does it all for you though. Pretty easy. But we're going to be doing a draft here in about T-minus 2-3 minutes. And we're going to try and go RBRB. It's not for everybody. Robust RB. What is the robust RB, Smitty? I'll tell you. It's called the tripod.
The tripod, likened to pyramids in ancient Egypt, consists of drafting one of Allen, Mahomes, or Hurts to go with one of these round one running backs and one of these running backs in round two. The tripod.
We're going to try the tripod tonight. The Fantasy Football Show Live Draft Edition, Best Ball Edition begins right now. File in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Live whenever news breaks. Live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Every single Monday through Friday, your boy is live. Every single Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Live when big news breaks and live like this stream right here. Most midnights Eastern is why we're here. And we're here doing the graveyard shift. The graveyard crew.
You're watching a
graveyard stream.
Graveyard stream in the house. I appreciate you all being here. Let's try the tripod. For those that missed it, what is the tripod?
The tripod, likened to pyramids in ancient Egypt, consists of drafting one of Allen, Mahomes, or Hurts to go with one of these round one running backs and one of these running backs in round two. The tripod.
All right, so let's get into an underdog draft. The link again is right here. I'll drop it one more time. There it is. The link's in the description of the video, in every video practically. Code Smitty also gets it done. Get that first deposit matched 50% by using the link, which uses code Smitty. And let's get to it. I'm going to go to the lobby. You're going to be on the draft tab at the bottom of your app. And then you're going to click on the lobby tab. That's pretty much what opens it by default. And let's go into a weekly winner. $10 hauler weekly winner for all you ballers out there. Jump right in to the weekly winners. If you don't get into the draft that I'm in, that's okay. Don't fret. Don't get upset. Don't get all mad. Just jump into the weekly winners. Let's do it live together. And let me put the board on screen here. 1 second as I load it up. It looks like we're drafting soon. I don't know how many of you got into that one, but if you didn't get in, don't worry. Just jump into one alongside of us, and you will be able to participate in deploying glory right alongside of all of us, okay? We got Rock out in this one. Superfish got in. I see a couple of you guys I recognize. I'm not positive on some of the usernames, but I'm pretty sure I see at least 3 or 4 of us. Minimum, but these fill up quick, so we don't always get to get in together. Okay, so your boy has got the 4 pick. Should be pretty easy to deploy the tripod from here. Maybe. It depends. The problem is, Rock Out and Superfish, don't draft around me. Draft whatever you feel like you want to draft, but it could be tougher to get the tripod because I have 2 potential, unless you guys want to try and deploy the double decker. But don't, please, you're paying hard-earned money to get in this. Don't worry about my picks. But I do have 2 people very prone to drafting Achan and Kyron right in front of me. So it might be hard to do the double decker Or I'm sorry, the tripod with this crew. We'll see. I don't want to force it. I always let best player available dictate what's going on. So know that. Appreciate you all being here. Phone lines will be open while I'm live if anybody wants to call in. How much you have to deposit? $10 is the minimum, and they'll give you 50% your first deposit. So they'll give you $5, and they'll give you a pick. You get like a special pick as well. That only, I think, people in that week or that day or just you get. Okay, so I'm gonna go Bijan here because I'm gonna try and deploy the running back, quarterback. We'll see if it works out. Usually it's very wide receiver heavy, and I should have no problem getting Kyron or Achane. But again, drafting with my crew might be hard to pull it off. We'll have to see what RBs are left for me. Again, anybody drafting with me, this is your hard-earned money. You don't draft around what I'm doing. You draft what you feel is right for you to win the cash money. Don't make a move that might have you not hitting the grand prize because you're worried about me. Bijan Achane, I would normally be able to pull it off, Robert. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to do it from this draft slot with this crew. So we'll have to see. Robert, appreciate you dropping the wad on screen, pal. And then we got a super chat coming in hot from Moondog. Moondog dropping fire on screen. Moondog, appreciate you, my main man. I don't know why my alerts aren't firing off here. But Moondog says, just wanted to show my support and to let you know we respect all the hard work you put in for us. Give the man Smitty a thumbs up. Thank you, Moondog, for dropping a $10 holler. And you know what $10 hollers get, my man? You get moonshots, baby.
To the moon.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Look at that. I accidentally went to this screen, but it just makes me smile to look at my boy JD5. You know how many DMs I have where people are like, Smitty, you want to bet? I'll bet you Caleb versus JD5. I'll bet you JJM versus JD5. You're out of your mind. By rule, I don't even respond to those challenges because they would be endless. So I have a hard line no to everybody. Unless we're on a live stream and I'm just feeling it and I can write it on the board or something. But I have a hard lined rule, especially if it's not live on the show, to not go near anybody's better challenge because I'd be getting them all day. I'd be wasting my time and everybody vanishes and never pays up anyway. I have no leverage to bring the outcome of that to fruition. So it's just like a stupid waste of my time. Team coming in with the Achane at 12. Oh, God. Talk about... this is weekly winners, though. But talk about a kick to the sack. The reason Achane goes higher in weekly winners, if anybody thinks this is totally out of pocket, it isn't, because it's all about winning each individual week in weekly winners. It's $10 entry. In weekly winners, if you win week 1, you win $20K. And then week 2 has nothing to do with week 1. Everybody in your whole team could be suspended for weeks 1 through 16. And everybody on your team didn't play a single down all year. And you come into week 17 and have the highest scoring week and you win $20K. So every week is like an individual independent league going for $20K, second place $10K, etc. So Achane has a much, much, much higher ADP. Much higher ADP. This is par for the course, essentially, for him, to be frank. Now, I think we're going to be pretty good because there's 3 RBs left. Superfish, take whoever you want. Yeah, you took Kyron, that's fine. JT probably goes in one of the next 2 picks. If Victor grabs JT, I have no chance of going double RB. I mean, I'm trying, but I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to select a horrible team and show you guys bad practice because I planned on having a set strategy. JT, can't do it. You see the available players right there. There's not a running back in sight. So I'm forced to go wide receiver here. Probably going to have to go with, man, it's weekly winners. And as much as I like D. Adams, Debo is still very, very good in this format. Because at any moment he could be, the yak yardage leader that he is in the NFL. He's the best yak yard player in the National Football League. I have no problem going Debo. Man, that's disappointing. So 3 straight RBs took out my plan of attack. I'm drafting with, I believe there's 4 of you in here that I can verify, at least with my eyeballs that are a part of my crew that snagged the running backs. Rock out went with the double decker though, but Superfish, don't feel bad whatsoever. Don't feel bad whatsoever. It's all good. This is your hard-earned money you're playing with. So okay, so Deebo Samuel, I'm kind of hoping. I don't want to say because I don't know if Biznatch is one of ours, or Z-Mel. I don't think Z-Mel is one of ours, but I'm not positive. So I'm gonna hold my tongue and tell you who I'm gonna draft. I don't want to spoil it. You guys could probably guess who I'm eyeballing right here, especially in weekly winners. Okay, he fell. I mean, I would have been good with Mahomes too, but give me Jalen Hurts in a weekly winner format. I got 3 monsters right here, and this is probably a good live stream for you guys to watch. It's not clickbait. The intention was to go RB, but to see me in front of you with a set live stream to try and go RB, to watch my discipline to not do it and disappoint everybody shows you how disciplined I am to best player available. Good lesson, as should you guys be disciplined when you say I'm going to try hero RB. Good, try it. But if best player available opens up other doors and closes certain doors that are, going to help you accomplish that, then you got to go in a different direction. You know what I'm saying? You just can't do it. Rock Out says, who's Rock Out? He's the guy that's deploying the double decker right now. What's the double decker? I'll tell you what the double decker is.
The double decker, pronounced double-decker in academic circles, is drafting wide receiver back-to-back in rounds 1 and 2, using these plethoras of players. The double decker.
So the double decker deployed by our boy Rock Out, who's on the clock right now in that 10 spot. He got A.J. Brown and Marvin Harrison Jr. and he went ETN. It's good team. Now my balanced approach that I defaulted to, my de facto, move if all things go good, is a balanced approach. I like it. At the end of the day, I'm feeling great about it. I love in a weekly winner where no week is tied to another, meaning you could win 20K in week 1 and then have the worst team the rest of the way. Or you could have your entire team get abducted by aliens and returned right in time for the week 17 kickoff. And it doesn't matter, because if in week 17 your team outscores everybody else's, you win 20K. Second place, 10K. Every individual week. There's no playoffs. There's no accumulation of anything. It's a separate independent league, essentially, 17 of them. And I love the balance that I have. Balance is my friend. I like balance when other people might not. That's the way I roll. Rock Out grabbing 4 really good players. A.J. Brown, Marvin Harrison Jr., Travis Etienne, and Cooper Kupp. I'm very much liking your team, Rock Out, from that 10 spot. From the 11, Puka, Garrett Wilson, Pacheco, Diggs, not bad. 12 spot, Achane, Henry, Lamar, and Zay, not bad. I don't dislike that. You got the stack there. It's a good team. You got the triple stack, really. And in weeklies, that could be good if the Ravens ball the hell out. That's the kind of team with Achane that could win it. Really, it's a good deployment. Superfish, Amon-Ra, Kyron, Josh Jacobs. Couldn't be more thrilled with your start right there. Let's see what you do with this pick right here. Waddle, okay, you're a little bit of a pick for your hometown team, but at 4th round value, I'm not hating it, especially in weekly winner, because Waddle could pop. He could have those big games. So actually pretty smart, I think. And Waddle's got much more, allure to me in weekly winners than he does in non-weekly winners. So that's a good pick. Okay, so I'm almost on the clock. Oh, please fall. Please fall. Victor, don't screw me, Victor. Don't do it, Victor. You already took JT. Don't do it, Don't do it, Victor. Don't take my... Thank you. Thank you, Victor. Hurts, Devontae Smith stack in full effect. Doing it live.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy.
Doing it live is how we do it. Like it. Bijan, Debo, Hurts, Smith. Do it live.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Okay. I like my chances of this 4 at least so far as much as anybody else's. I do love Rockout's team. I do love Superfish's team. You guys did fantastic. Let's look at the 1, 2, and 3 picks because those are the best draft slots. Gibbs, Laporta, Mahomes, Pickens. Not bad. Don't hate or love the Pickens pick, to be honest. CD, Josh Allen, Adams, Rashad White, Kamara. I don't know if I like that Kamara pick. Tank Dell went. That sucks. But the team won. I'm not.
Always interested to hear how I can
Ziggy off. I'm not scared of that team. Boy. This is tough. I'm about ready to time out, so I'm going to cue somebody. I'm going to use my advice. You cue somebody while you're looking around shopping in case something happens and you auto to the guy you cued. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get crazy and dominate the quarterback scoring. I really like this bully quarterback approach in 1 QB best ball, especially in weeklies. It's a little risky, but, I was looking at the tight end position. I almost went with I think I can say it because he's going to be gone. I had Kyle Pitts queued. He's still queued right now. He was my default. If I timed out, I was going to go Kyle Pitts. Victor took him. Victor's doing bully tight end. It's similar approach. You don't do this in regular non-best ball because you're beholden to your decision of who to start in a 1 QB, 1 tight end setting, and you're going to screw it up all year long. It's the stupidest move you can make. When people draft early double quarterback in 1 QB or especially early double tight end, and I'm talking about before your lineup's even close to being filled out, you grab 2 of the top tight ends and you're like, I'm going to trade one of them like an idiot. Like you're never going to be able to do it. It's always the worst plan of attack. The people that do that call into my show weekly begging me to help them get out of their ridiculous situation. But in best ball, you don't make the decision of who to start. It's optimal scoring. That decision's made for you. And so if I've got A. Richardson and Hurts, I'm guaranteed to probably outscore everyone at the QB position, which is the highest scoring position. So in weeklies, I'm like, even if Devontae Smith does good and Hurts does okay, that can happen. Smith could have 100 yards and a touch, and Hurts could have literally just that 1 touchdown. And Anthony Richardson outscores Jalen Hurts. I don't suffer by having Hurts have a bad game. And it's especially good, in my opinion, to grab this quarterback, Anthony Richardson, in case my stack, especially like you're hedging your stack, right? So you're grabbing Anthony Richardson in case my stack fails. That means I'm losing Hurts and I'm losing maybe Devontae Smith, maybe not, because like I said, he could still do okay even if Hurts does bad. But I'm hedging my stack so that my stack gets subbed out and my stack won't take down my team. Case in point, think of Burrow, right? If during that Hamlin game, like you have Burrow and Chase get taken out in the DeMar Hamlin game, but if you had a hedge stack against it, it's kind of beautiful because the stack can help you win, but the stack can also be your demise. All right, so let's go here. Phone lines are open if anybody wants to dial into the show.
Call into the show.
Brought to you by the Attic.shop. The Attic.shop. Do it live. Go get all your amazing apparel at the Attic.shop. Moondog, appreciate your super chat. Rockout, appreciate your super chat. Pete dropping a super thoughts on T-Law. Indifferent. I'm hopeful. I'm always going to be a T-Law fan. I love T-Law. I think he could. Look, Goff is playing great right now. Kirk Cousins is playing great in his late career. There's no reason T-Law can't continue to develop. You know what I mean? He's got Brian Thomas Jr. I'm very excited about T-Law, but am I drafting him in any sort of position to be my starter? The answer is no. And just when you thought that Wheel Snipe City wasn't coming around, we almost put the bat signal out for Wheel Snipe Sully, a.k.a. City. He comes in and drops a 50 gifted membership on the chat right now. Wheel Snipe Sully to the freaking moon.
$50
Give me $50 holler. Let that bottle brother Smitty. Give me $50. Oh, yeah.
I was gonna time out. I had to grab somebody. I was about to time out. I don't hate it. I like Keon Coleman, and especially in weeklies, it could be pretty good. But I did have to force that one. Wheel snipe Selly to the moon, to the moon, to the moon, to the moon. There we go. I just cleaned up my office, but that's okay. We're opening up the briefcase for Wheel Snipe. Emptying this bad boy. Wheel Snipe. I you know what? I don't mind. I don't mind. I just cleaned the office. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. We get the briefcase out. We empty it. We do it live. 50 gifted memberships deserves that kind of consideration. Thank you, my guy. Anybody that got a gifted membership from Wheel Snipe Selly right now, why don't you please let him know how much you appreciate him for dropping that kind of goodness in your life. Thank you, Will Snipe. 50 gifted memberships. What an unbelievable monster this guy is. Let's see here. All right, I'm almost on the clock here. Will Snipe Selly, doing it live. Appreciate you, Will Snipe. The man, the myth, the legend. Okay, so what do I do here? What do I do here? I think I'm going to go. Kyler Harrison, not so bad, says Daddy Dennis. Could have been worse. I don't know what Dennis, what you ended up with. Great job supporting the channel. You're the man, says Coble. Coble, appreciate you too. D Money in the building. What's up, D Money? All right, on the clock. Kind of one of my favorite picks right now is Najee Harris in the 7-8 round territory. I feel really good about it, especially, look, I haven't taken a second running back yet. So this kind of late running back grab, essentially I deployed Hero RB, and didn't even really realize I was doing it. That's the most beautiful plan of attack, is when you deploy best player available and you, in retrospect, see what sub-strategy you took. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you know you're balling. When you're like, oh, crap, round 7, I just noticed I'm going Hero RB. That's the kind of guide that best player available is. That's the kind of friend it is a good friend. It's a loyal friend. It's like a dog. It'll always be there for you. A dog is a man's best friend, but best player available is a man's second best friend. Timed out on Kyler. Oh, that's what you're talking about. That's fine. Kyler's a fantastic rock out. You timed out on Kyler with the stack. That's fine. That's perfect. Don't be fretting over that. Superfish takes Jordan Love. I like that. Burrow was a steal there for whoever that is. Ben, you did good. You did good. I like it. I mean, I don't like your team as much as I would have if you didn't go DJ Moore, T. Higgins, Worthy, like just smashing the hell out of the wide receivers when, honestly, they're, I think, a little bit better players. All right, let's roll. We're doing it. We're doing it live. How is Burrow in the 10th? Or how's he the 10th drafted quarterback? Because people are sleeping on him, bro. He's a great value. Burrow is a great value. He's also one of the pancake stacks, baby.
The stack above all stacks. It's time to drop the pancake emojis in the light.
Jeff says Jonathan Brooks recovering from an ACL with a crowded bet. It is a great pick there, bro. It's a great pick, Jeff. This is weekly winners, my guy. So in weekly winners, it's a fantastic pick. Wheel Snipe with a super, appreciate you, Wheel Snipe, dropping the super duper $5 hauler, $2 for your $1 jokes. I'm sure you get. Okay, thank you, appreciate you, Wheel Snipe. 701 caller. What is your name and where are you calling from?
This is Pete722, and I'm in North Dakota. How you doing, man?
Pete, what's up, my guy? Did you just drop a super chat?
Yeah, I did just a little while ago about T-Law. I wanted to
Nice.
ask you about my quarterbacks in my Dynasty Superflex League, if you don't mind.
Yeah, Pete from South Dakota, you said?
North Dakota.
North Dakota. Do people from North Dakota like people from South Dakota?
I've lived in both states, so yeah, I do. But
Is there like a rivalry between?
for football, it is. I like the NDSU, SDSU.
But like as human beings, is there like a I hate those South Dakota people?
Maybe some people do, but I don't.
All right, hit me with your question. Go.
So here's a Superflex. It's 10, start 10. Tight end premium is only 0.5, but the big thing about our league is that quarterbacks get to 6 points for a touchdown pass. So here's my three main guys. I've got T-Law, which is why I asked you about him. I've got Bo Nix and Matt Stafford. Do you think I should be trying to get more, something, upgrade one of those, or what do you think about that set?
You know, I don't want to say that, like, I don't know. It's very hard for me to imagine winning a Superflex with these quarterbacks, you know. But it also depends on what everybody else has. Real quickly, let me just make my draft selection, if you don't mind. 1 second.
Oh, sure.
1 second, broski. I'm going to go... Damn, this is going to be tough. I'm going to go Benson here. Okay. Let me go back to the question. So, like, I don't know. Tell me the top couple teams what their quarterback room looks like. Does anybody have, like, Mahomes and Love and Hurts and Love, or, you know, like, it is hard to...
Mahomes and the Miami quarterback, Tua, is probably that's the guy I beat in the championship last year. I won the lot last year. My strength is my running back.
All right, hit me with your team. Hit me with your team, and I'll tell you if I like it, yeah.
Bijan. And then I've got ATN.
ETN.
And, yep. And then CMC.
All right. Yeah. There you go.
And then at wide receiver, I've got Puka.
Okay.
That was a really lucky pick last year.
Nice
In
job.
the draft.
You keep all these guys.
And then
this is a full dynasty. Okay.
Yeah, full dynasty. Yep. Let's see here. And then I also have the Atlanta wide receiver.
London.
London, yep. And I drafted Onduze and also the guy from the Chargers, the rookie.
McConkey.
Yes.
All right, hold on. I got
my tight end.
I got to make my pick. Hold on one second.
Okay, yeah.
Let's go with, he's older, but it's weekly winners, so I'm going to go with DeAndre Hopkins. So my team so far, Bijan, Debo, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, Anthony Richardson, Keon Coleman, Najee Harris, Trey Benson, DeAndre Hopkins. Feeling pretty good about it. Weekly winners. I like it. Okay, McConkey. Yeah, look, your team's solid. Would I try and what's your tight end room?
Ingram, and then I've also got Noah Fant and Kate Otten.
And what size league is it? 12, 10, 8?
12 team. 12.
Okay, yeah, you did good. You did good for yourself, bro. You definitely ignored the quarterback position. Yeah, you ignored that, and then for obvious reasons, you stacked up everywhere. I mean, you have Puka, London, Adunze, and McConkey, and anybody else at wide receiver?
Yeah, I've got on the bench. I've got Michael Wilson, Jermaine Burton. And then a bunch of like Tim Patrick. That's about it.
Yeah. The guy I'm trying to get, if I'm you, is JD5. JD5. I'm also trying to get. So if I got to trade a Dunze and McConkey or Dunze in any one of your quarterbacks. I'm doing that. And then another guy to go get maybe in crafty fashion is Fields. I just think somehow, some way that's going to end up working out. But that's me. That's just a crafty go get. But JD5 is the guy I want. And I think that it's a reasonable move right now because he's not being considered top 5 by anybody, really. In Dynasty, he's a lot higher than redraft, but he's still very, very much not on people's radar for like a top 5 guy. So I would go after JD5. I would go after Fields. I feel like Fields could be very, very much like the Jordan Love of last year for me, and all my Superflex content and advice was go get Love as your second quarterback. Go get Love as your second quarterback. Go get Love. And Love absolutely crushed it for anybody that drafted him as their second quarterback. So I feel like Fields could definitely be that guy. Will Snipe gifted another 5 memberships. Thank you, Will Snipe. So probably going to say, bro, to me, JD5 is the move. I would definitely trade a Dunze if I needed to do it. You're probably going to have to. CMC is a guy you might want to try and shop before it's too late, but it's going to be hard to trade him. You know, would I do it for a quarterback? Absolutely.
Repeat.
Yeah, you could repeat. You could still repeat by swapping him out for a QB, though. You know, like if you're in a startup dynasty draft, he's not going anywhere near the top quarterbacks.
Right. This is our 3rd year.
No, I mean, if you restarted drafting right now, he's not going anywhere near that. He's not even he's barely in the 2nd round, you know, because in the dynasty startup, Superflex. But I would definitely look to shop CMC. I know you want to win the money and repeat, but just consider it. But JD5 is your cheapest top 5 quarterback potential guy, because a lot of people don't.
All right, man. I'll see what I can do.
Penix Jr. as well is a nice, go get. I'd probably say that might even be is more crafty than Fields in some ways. So I'd maybe go get JD5 and Penix Jr. Try and use McConkey or Dunze with the quarterbacks that you have to get that done.
Appreciate it.
All right, bro. All right, later. All right. So on my last draft selection, I went Jaylen Warren, which feels pretty good because now I got Najee, Warren, Benson, and Bijan. So Bijan with both Najee and Warren, and then Benson, it feels really good. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 running backs. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 wide receivers. I got 2 quarterbacks. Feel very, very solid and balanced, minus the the tight end position. But we're looking good. We're looking really good right now. Shakir just went. I like the squad a lot. This is looking solid. Wow, Deontay Johnson is being slept on. How? Well, Jeff, because he's been a bag of nothing for a little while. He's no guarantee. I could definitely see why people are sleeping on him. I'm not saying he can't, do it. Okay, Wheel Snipe dropping a $10 wad. $10 haulers get moonshots, by the way. Moon. So you're going to the moon, Wheel Snipe. Appreciate you dropping that. Wheel Snipe says, how early do you think ADP will have JD5 by typical draft time? So like August and redraft? He's going like around 8-9 right now, right? Sometimes earlier, but I would say like 6-7, bro. I would say he's going to go by around 6 or 7. Wow. He's still here. We'll go with Dallas Goedert. Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. Let me put my team on screen in a different fashion because it's a little easier to look at if I send my team over via screenshot to the system and drop it on said screen for your viewing pleasure. Here is my squad. I give you the Smithereens. Jalen Hurts, AR5, different bye weeks. Bijan, Najee, Jaylen Warren, Benson, different bye weeks. I mean, obviously Najee and Warren are like a cuff. Wide receivers, all different bye weeks, or actually 3 different bye weeks. Devontae Smith and Hopkins are the same bye week. But Keon Coleman, Devontae Smith, Debo, DeAndre Hopkins, Goddard. This is a real good squad. This is weekly winners, by the way, again. The top team each week, no matter what they did the week prior. None of it matters. Thank you, Will Snipe. Whoever's the highest scoring team, each individual week wins 20K, seconds 10, so on. No week is tied to another. You could have everybody missing for 8 straight weeks of football. They could come in week 9 and score number 1 overall. You win 20K right there. Boom, first place, 20K. And then they could all get abducted by aliens until week 17. They could all come back just in time for kickoff. Your team could outscore everybody, 20K, boom. You could literally win 20K every single week if your team was that good. The likelihood of it happening is probably slim to none, but it could technically be possible. You know, can you imagine if someone won like 4 times? Like win one. It's gonna be crazy. Like 10 years from now, what the most amount of time someone's won the weekly winner. You know, and has anybody ever won it back-to-back weeks? That'll be insane. Who's the Steelers OC? It's Arthur Smith, but you know, it's probably Mike Sullivan more in the passing department, bro. I think Arthur's there for the run. I think Mike Sullivan's got a heavy hand in that passing game. He was the passing game offensive mind that got Mason Rudolph going at the end of the year, and they promoted him. So hard to imagine they promote him and they don't let him have control of the passing attack. But hard to truly know what's going to happen. But let's go with Leggett here. I think that's a fantastic rookie wide receiver grab. I've got 2 rookie wide receivers in Keon Coleman and Leggett. I think Leggett and Coleman are great weekly winner wideouts to grab. These are $10 night. These cost $10, the weekly winners, which is awesome because they're the most fun contest, to be honest with you. I love the Best Ball Mania, of course. The prize is much bigger, but the weekly winners is what I literally come to play for every year. Like this is what tickles my fancy, if you will. Thanks Z Mel for sniping my Ben Sinnott. Damn it. Okay, so another $10 hauler from Wheel Snipe. $10 hauler. Wheel Snipe says, so at ADP 6th round for J85, would you reach to take him earlier in the early 5th? Let's play it by ear, Wheel Snipe. I don't know. Wheel Snipe dropping 10 gifted memberships. What a monster. That's a Saturn shot.
To Saturn.
I mean, what are we doing here? Wheel Snipe's dropping biscuits all over the place. If you got a gifted membership by Wheel Snipe City, you better thank him with an eggplant emoji, a heart emoji, a fire emoji, some kind of affectionate emoji. Drop it his way. I'm going to say play it by ear. Let's not try and pinpoint where we're reaching 4 months down the road. You know what I mean? I very, very much love J85 enough to really pay whatever I need to, but I don't know if we're going to round 5, bro. I don't think we're ever gonna have to do that. Okay. I took Ricky Pearsall, who is essentially the cuff to me, having Deebo Samuel, and in a weekly winner, I like the idea of this because if something happens to Deebo, I don't get hit the remaining weeks because I lost my big stud. I'm cuffing him in crafty fashion to one of the only wide receiver handcuffs in fantasy in Deebo and Deebo and Pearsall. Thank you, Will Snipe, for dropping that, bro. You are the man, the myth, the legend. All right, here's my team. God, Wheel Snipe is dropping fire tonight. One, two, three, four, five. I have 6 wide receivers. I have 4 RBs. I have 1 tight end and 2 quarterbacks so far. Team's looking like a straight up dog right here. Hurts, A-Rich, love it. Bijan, Najee with Warren and Benson, love it. Deebo, Devontae Smith, Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman, Devontae Smith, Deebo, Pearsall, Cuffed, Leggett, Hopkins, Goddard. I'm feeling pretty good about the squad. You're on the phone line, Justin, live. What can I do for you?
Not a whole lot, man. What about yourself?
Just drafting, doing it live, bro. You? Like, what's going on tonight?
Oh man, just hanging out, man. Just listening to the show. I don't get to watch it a whole lot, man. But my old lady went to bed a little bit earlier, so I get to hang out and listen to it, man. So, what you think, man? You think JD5 is gonna make Josh Dotson and them do it big or what?
Jahan Dotson? Yeah, I think JD5.
Yeah,
I mean, you tell me. You look at this image right here, and you tell me you don't get excited. This. I don't know if you're on a little bit of a delay, but on screen, I've got JD5 pulling his helmet down, and I've got a T-shirt coming of this right here. I'm gonna wear quite often, but JD5 to me, and people can get mad about it. They can say, "Oh, you're ridiculous," this and that. I don't really care. Like I'm here to do. I'm here to do me, bro. You know what I'm saying? I care what my people think. I care about all of you as people. I care about your opinions. I have a phone line for that very reason. But at the end of the day, I could care less what another human being says or thinks or says, Smitty, don't you know the like I've been doing this long enough to where I'm factoring in all of these things that people are saying. Like, this is not my first rodeo, not my second rodeo, not my 20th rodeo. This is 20 plus years. I can chew gum, walk at the same time. You know, I'm telling you, man, and I'm okay if I'm wrong too. I'll wear that badge of that L badge.
We all make mistakes.
But JD5, bro, in my bones, in my soul, I know this is that guy. You know, it's
what I'm scared. That's what, to be honest with you, that's what I'm scared about, because I am a Cowboys fan, you know, but Dak Prescott ain't gonna never bring Cowboys over the hump.
Now, I don't know if you saw you said you haven't been able to watch a lot of the live streams. You should go watch last night's live stream, bro.
No. So I watch it every day on Spotify.
Oh, just don't call. Okay, I got you. I defend Dak Prescott was that last night's live stream, guys? I forget. I defend Dak Prescott pretty vigorously. I think it was the day show.
I watched it, but
okay.
I watched it, man. I just don't know, man. Dak Prescott ain't never gonna get us over the hump. He don't have a running game, you know. Just like Baltimore. Baltimore just said, OC said, we want to give Derrick Henry 300 carries. Well, Cowboys should have went and got him. They didn't. Jerry Jones is, I don't know, I guess you could say he's old and outdated. You know?
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to time out. Oh, dang it. I timed out on Roman Wilson. Could be worse. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I think I'm good at wide receiver. Sorry.
My fault.
No. Not your fault. I wasn't paying attention. I need to draft an RB real quickly, or hold on one second. Let me just take a look. Okay. So I hear your concerns, bro. Moondog, thank you. Will Snipe Selly, thank you. Will Snipe Selly again. Thank you. Rock Out, we both got Snipe Smitty on Senate. Thank you, Rock Out, for dropping that $2 hauler. Rock Out to the freaking moon. Selly says, any ungifted current. Selly wants to know, does anybody currently not have a gifted membership? Because he just keeps throwing them out there until he feeds everybody. Because that's the kind of guy Selly is. Appreciate you, Selly. Ray G, real quickly, hold on one second, pal. Justin, hang tight.
No, go ahead.
We got to get another draft in now that Wheel Snipe is back. Maybe these drafts are 45 minutes long to an hour, so we'll see. Sometimes I do, draft marathons, and we'll definitely be heading in that direction. $10 hauler from Ray G, by the way, gets a moonshot. Ray G, appreciate you, my guy, coming in with a 10 wad. You guys are unbelievable tonight. Thank you, Will Snipe. You're the man, the myth, the legend. All right, I'm on the clock again real quick, Justin, then I'm going to come back to you, so hang tight real quick. Thank you, Ray G, again for the 10 wad. Damn it, you guys are sniping the hell out of me. Now, I know for a fact that this guy from the 2 spot's our guy, because he's taken every single player. Well, I don't want JK, but I guess I'll go Isaiah Likely here. I don't mind that. That's my second tight end. I don't mind that. Okay, go ahead. What was your question, bro?
No, I'm just, JD5 coming in the sequence, and Cowboys, man, they're going to struggle against them. You know, they got a lot of power over there. Washington now, and I'm Moondog, by the way.
Oh, you're Moondog.
Yeah, I changed it. You remember? It was a while back, man. I changed my name to Moondog.
All right, let me fix that in the system. Moondog from. Are you still in Mississippi?
Yep, I'm the carrier.
All right, Moondog, Mississippi. All right, we got you in here. Wheel Snipe says, I forgot your phone number. You got to have that on the bottom. The reason I don't have it up all the time, Wheel Snipe, is sometimes it leads to like non-stop phone calls. So when the phone lines fill up, I don't really necessarily put it up. But here's the phone line, Wheel Snipe, if you want to call in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Not to mention, it's pretty easy to remember. It's 602 NFL Dong. So, dial in.
Man, I just wanted to holler at you, man.
Well, what was your question? All right, it was just Dallas. I think, bro. I think you really need to, not. It's not Dak. You say Dak will never get you over the hump. It's not Dak. It's Dak can't get you over the hump by himself. I can promise you that if you swap Dak out, you're not going to get better than Dak. That's what my whole live stream is about. What are you going to get? Who are you going to get?
You ain't what? Shadur Sanders? I don't know, man. I don't think he's better than Dak. I don't think he's better than Dak.
But here's the problem, bro. Here's the problem. This is the rub. Shadur Sanders is the Dallas Cowboys are not going to have a shot at Shadur from their God-given draft pick. You guys are not going to. Okay.
That has to move up big time.
Okay, so you got to try and make that trade before. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to make a decision on Dak Prescott. Like, you got to. So if you let Dak go and you don't have your hands on that number 1 overall pick, like, you're putting yourself in the same situation that the Raiders are in. Wheel Snipe dropping another 10 gifted memberships. Wheel Snipe to the freaking moon. You know, so like, unless you have your hands on that one pick, there's no way you can guarantee you're going to be in a better spot. Not to mention, I'll be honest with you, bro. If you said right now, I'll give you Sanders or Dak, I'm not saying my opinion won't change at the end of the year, but I don't know that that's a move I'm just punching and pulling the trigger on yet. I could very much change my mind. And maybe he's the next JD5 for me, you know, where like mid-season I'm like, never mind, I'm 100. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of football to be played. But we're talking about Dak Prescott, who cranked out production numbers that were along the lines of top 5 all year long. They're in the top 5. And you have no run game. You had no run game last year. You give him a worse running attack this year. This is not a team that he's not being supported properly. It's not on Dak. I promise you swap them out, you're not any better. It comes down to Jerry. It comes down to Jerry making a bold move. This comes down to your owner sleeping at the wheel and not going and getting Derrick Henry when Derrick Henry said he was waiting for a call, bro. He was waiting by the phone.
That's crazy, man. Well, we give Tyron Smith to the Jets for pennies on the dollar. I mean,
bro, Jerry was waiting. Or Jerry, Henry was waiting by the phone, bro. Waiting by the phone. He said, he goes, I thought it was an ideal match. That's what he said.
Oh,
Henry,
I know you've been saying all year. I mean, I don't know.
So
Jerry Jones, I think he's overdue to be gone.
Well, I don't know, man. I just think it's unfortunate and unfair. Let's go Bryce Young.
It's unfair to Dak Prescott to not have
definitely unfair to Dak Prescott. It's so unfair, and he gets judged for it so harshly. But you know what? It doesn't matter. As I explained last night, like, Dak is getting paid $55 million this year, bro. Do you know how much? You know how much the franchise tag is? I think it's 38. He's getting paid more money this year than he would if he signed a contract with you.
Oh, I know.
You know what I mean? Like per 1 year. Like, if he signed a deal, it would be below $55 million a year, and so he's getting paid more this year by not signing the contract. I mean, it'd be an extension, but you know what I'm saying? Like, so he can basically play on 55. It's no skin off his back at all. and he's literally going to go get paid more than he would get this offseason, next offseason, wherever he goes. The ball's in his court. He cannot be franchise tagged.
Well, that's the scariest thing. Who are you going to pick up? What are you going to do? Run with Trey Lance? I just don't think he can. I don't think he can do it, man.
Yeah, it's disappointing, bro. All right, Moondog, hang tight. You can mute yourself real quick if you want to stay on. You can hang up if you need to.
Go ahead, man. I'm gonna get off. All
right.
Let's have fun.
All right, bro.
Appreciate it.
Later.
Put the lights up on, brother.
All right, thanks, man. Wheel Snipe, what's up, guy?
No, not, dude. Honestly, having to turn my phone into a keypad and look for NFL dong, never not gonna be funny.
Yeah, isn't that easy? Isn't that an easy phone number to remember now?
I smiled, the whole time while looking for it.
Yeah, that's my goal. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Appreciate all the gifted memberships. The chat appreciates you, Wheel Snipe Selly. You're a legend up in this mug.
So my question for you, good sir, sorry to interrupt you, Smitty, is does the name being gray in the chat mean they are not a current member? Also,
correct.
Footballshow.com. What is the? I got a lifetime membership to your website, and that's what I pay attention to the most.
Yes.
Your updates on that.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
That is where because I'm a busy guy. I got kids. I got a job. So right now I'm by the fire right now. I got some time.
Pardon me if this is insulting or whatever, but I did not picture you having kids. I picture you backpacking across the country nonstop, jumping from train to train.
I have actually done that before.
But I did not anticipate
with such occurrences.
I did not anticipate you being a tied down man. I thought you were on the side of the Himalaya mountains right now.
I got a fire pit in what they consider the city. They call this the city, and I'm on 36 in the city street. There is, it's a city area in terms of danger for sure. But I absolutely have a fire pit going.
Okay, that qualifies then. All right. So any topics or questions? Any topic?
Yes, my question for you was, is the name being gray in the chat significant?
Yes, that means they do not have a membership.
So there's people that don't have membership.
Correct.
That was my question.
Correct.
All right. I'll let you go.
He's loading up. Wheel Snipe, you're the best, bro. don't give more than you have. Okay?
All right.
I appreciate you.
Of course. Can I stay in the background and can stay around?
Sure. Just mute yourself real quick, and then if you ever have something, just unmute and pop back in. Ray G, I'll be here for another 10 minutes, something like that anyway. But I'll come back to you before I end the call with you, okay? So just mute yourself, we'll come right back. Ray G, you've been holding there in Cali, pal. What can I do for you?
I just have one question about Ricky Pearsall.
Yes, sir.
If Brandon Ayuk gets traded, where do you rank Ricky Pearsall?
Such a good question, bro. Such a good question. Look, okay, so I took him here. I'm slot number 4. And I took him at 148 in round 13. Whoops. Let me minimize this real quick. Hold on. I just screwed it up. Is that Will Snipe Selly dropped another 20? He's little by little he's gonna make sure he tries to get everybody a YouTube exclusive membership up in the chat right now. If you guys are getting one of these, please thank him. Okay, he deserves to be thanked. At the very least, drop him an eggplant emoji. It would definitely make his day. There's nothing better than that as a show of appreciation, I think, in a live chat, to be honest. Okay, so you're looking at in this draft slot 4, Ricky Pearsall, round 13. Let's scroll up a little bit and let's just try and take a gander at what wide receiver I would see him being better than. All of these guys in round number 12. All these guys, Lockett, Jacoby Myers, Brandon Cooks, Jahan Dotson, you could make an argument, but I would probably rather have Pearsall, I think, if he's the starter. But what if Juwan Jennings is named the starter? What if, there's a lot of other factors involved? So it's not like it's a slam dunk. Hold on, I got to make a pick real quick. I got to decide between Garendo, who may not even get any snaps. Damn it. That could be a league winner though, so I'm going to go Garendo here. Okay. So we're looking at Pearsall being at least equal to Dotson. That's very arguable. Shaheed, I definitely like him over Shaheed. Dobbs, definitely like him over Dobbs. A.D. Mitchell, honestly, I'd like him over A.D. Mitchell. Over Curtis Samuel, over Shakir. If Pearsall's the starter, but we'd have to anticipate that it's kind of known that he is, and it's not like Juwan Jennings, and then he's still, mixing in or something. Over Rashee Rice, sure. I mean, Rashee Rice might get at least a half a year to a year suspension. Hopkins, I think we start getting into like a conversation of like, I don't know, Jamison Williams in round 8, Brian Thomas Jr. round 8, JSN round 8, Jordan Addison round 8, Christian Watson 8, 9, and then maybe like, yeah, that's about where I start talking about him. Like where Adunze's going as a rookie and he's starting, Pearsall, that makes sense. Like 8, 9, that's high. I mean, if Pearsall was starting, that is high. Or let's say even one better, and nobody wants this, but if one of the wide receivers got hurt, in camp or something, then Ricky would jump.
Yeah. So 8, 9, wide receiver.
Who was saying what? What? Oh, go ahead.
I was just asking, would he be a top 25 wide receiver in your mind?
Man, Sebastian,
I think I'd
gifted
put
a
him there
membership.
pretty quick.
Thank you, Sebastian. That's a tough question to answer. Top 25. I mean, let me put the rankings up on screen, and then we can kind of like work through it, I guess, and see. Yeah. But I don't know.
Well, I guess you'd have to go like, where is Ayuk? And he's going to be below Ayuk, where Ayuk would be, obviously, because he's not going to be Ayuk right away.
Correct. But like, let's go to like Amari Cooper. Let's say he's wide receiver 29. Okay, so let me.
Okay.
I don't think
There's
we can.
A lot of wide receivers,
I don't think we can go higher than wide receiver like 29 or anything. But I mean, it wouldn't be crazy. But like, here's an example
maybe
of
top 35.
Yeah, you tell me. I'll put this on screen and you tell me what you think. Wheel Snipe, appreciate you dropping all those memberships. Everyone's going bananas in the chat. Draven says dope. Draven didn't get one. Draven's pissed. Draven's gonna retire if we're not careful. Here's the. So I expanded at Cooper so we could see what wide receiver rank he is. He's 29. That means that Pickens is 28. That means that Kirk is right below Cooper. He's 20. He's 30. Ricky Pearsall starting, whether it's due to injury or a trade of Ayuk or Debo. Christian Kirk, I like him more than Christian Kirk, to be honest. That's just my opinion. Yeah. Keenan Allen. I mean, Keenan Allen's tough because I do, we do know how good he was, right? But he's in a crowded wide receiver room, and he's 32 years old, and he has no rapport with his quarterback yet. And he's changing teams, and changing teams is always, never a great recipe for a first good year for that wide receiver. So I'd probably rather have Pearsall. I don't know that at cost of entry I would take him ahead of Keenan Allen, because I don't know that I'd have to. I would take Amari over him probably, because look at Amari's consistency. Last year, 1250 and 5. Yeah. The year before that, 1160 and 9. McLaurin, I'd rather have McLaurin right now. Jaden Reed right now. Honestly, I'd take Pearsall and Worthy probably in the same place. I think where Worthy is right now is perfect. And I'd probably say Keenan Allen is just a guy, even though you would take ahead. C-Mac's lingering in here. C-Mac was watching in stealth mode until he was gifted an exclusive membership. Now we know C-Mac's in the building. That's the danger if you're lurking and you don't want anybody to know you're lurking.
Exposing everyone.
Yeah, you get exposed by getting a gifted membership. So we're talking about Niners, so this would be a good conversation for C-Mac if you wanted to dial in. C-Mac, if you could slip into the pantry or the bathroom real quick and get away from the old lady, you could call in.
Oh, 50 more.
50 more
gift memberships.
Draven's getting one. He has.
Everyone's going green. Everyone's going green tonight.
Yeah, everyone's going green tonight. And when we say that, we don't mean that we're recycling up in here. We mean that you're getting gifted memberships. Somebody keep an eye out for Draven's name. I just want to see if Draven gets it. God, everybody's getting one. I don't see a Gray name now at all. Let's see. Draven's still Gray.
Draven.
Maybe he'll get it though, because it's still giving him.
Oh, 20 more. 20 more.
20 more. Hoosiers. Oh, Hoosiers has one. Let's see. It's still giving him out, so Draven might be listed, but we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. To answer the question again, I wouldn't draft Parasol starting, like if Debo gets traded or Ayuk gets traded or whatever, or there's an injury. I wouldn't take them over Keenan because you don't have to. Wheel Snipe with another 5. He's gonna try in most...
To tell you the truth, I'm drafting Parasol for in the future, just in case something does happen, because I'm not confident the 49ers keep Ayuk. So, you know.
You're not confident in the 49ers what?
Keeping Ayuk.
Oh.
I think...
Yeah, but here can I tell you the problems, the 2 problems here? And this is where I think let me go to full screen here because we don't necessarily need this anymore. And we got the IU conversation at the top here. But let's just say it. Let me put it this way. God, they're still going off. This guy's firing off these gifted memberships like a maniac.
He just gave 50 more.
Jeez, I can't even keep up with it, to be honest. I can't even keep up with what he's got going on. Thank you, Wheel Snipe. Appreciate you. Here's the problem, okay? This is the problem with Brandon Ayuk. He has now been priced out of a trade in most scenarios because what is a team going to do if they're trading for Brandon Ayuk? They're going to work out a deal on the back end, and the moment the trade is announced, they announce the contract in almost in a simultaneous fashion, you know? So you're going to have the contract and the trade announced at the same time, and you got to get that deal worked out. What team is going to trade for him at $30 million a year?
Yeah,
you know?
You're right about that.
So the problem is Debo is still more tradable than Brandon Ayuk. Ayuk may request a trade, but they're probably not going to grant it, and they're going to force him to play on his 5th-year option. I'm not saying that he can't get traded. I'm just saying it would have to be the Washington Commanders. It'd have to be the Baltimore Ravens. It'd have to be maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers are still interested. I don't know. But there's very few teams. I don't know if the Buffalo Bills would do it. Maybe Jerry would get crazy, and I don't know that the Niners would want to trade him to the Dallas Cowboys. But, I mean, there's very few teams left. You know?
Let's say if the 49ers choose Debo,
I can barely. It sounds like you're talking into a fishbowl. What are you saying?
Can you hear me now?
I mean, it sounds like you're in a fishbowl still, but go ahead.
Okay. No, I was saying, okay, if the 49ers trade Debo, would you rank Parasol in the same spot?
If they trade Debo, it's the same effect to me. But, man, Wheel Snipe is just gifting membership after membership. Someone said he's at 365 gifted memberships. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah, he's been gifting people left and right.
Is that correct? That can't be right.
Sig Nasty said 345.
345. I think he
range.
gets. I think Wheel Snipe gets a full minute standing ovation.
Mashed potatoes!
Yeah. On those emojis.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Wheel Snipe City left the phone call. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. This sounds pretty bad. This slapping sound. What's going on in the studio? What are you doing? Okay, so Wheel Snipe hung up. I don't know why he hung up in the middle of his standing ovation.
That's great. He forgot to pay his phone bill.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. His phone got cut off. His carrier shut down the card, the phone, everything. It said 345 gifted memberships. What is going on here?
Someone stole his card. We gotta shut this thing down.
Draven's still gray. Draven's still Hazelnut's still gray. Draven's still gray. Wheel Snipe, only give what you can give, bro. Make sure you're good. Yeah, it ain't happening for Draven.
He got his room back. He's all set.
Hold on, let's go over to Draven's room. Let's break the bad news. Hey, Draven. Psst, Draven, wake up. We're working on getting you a exclusive membership, but for right now, you got to go back to bed, pal. All right, clean that shit off your floor.
I'm not gonna say it again.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you again. Clean that crap off your floor. That turd's been there for months, maybe a year. I don't know what happened to Wheel Snipe. He jumped off the phone line. Man, 350 gifted memberships is insane. Let's put him on the... Okay, so Ron Navy has the highest super chat ever, but there's no one, I think, that comes close to Wheel Snipe Selly, a.k.a. Wheel Snipe City, I think, with the 3. What is he at? Sick Nasty, can you give me a count? Is it 3? Is it higher than 345? At this point, I don't even recognize when something new is coming in.
Yeah. John just said he's up to $1,043 worth of.
I can't. If he's maybe Will Snipe City's like, oh, am I shit?
Hey, Will Snipe City will take a 3-month break.
Maybe fell asleep on the keyboard.
This is all the time.
What, Ray? Ray, I can't hear you. Speak from the fishbowl one more time.
No, I was saying Will Snipe City will take a 3-month break and then he'll come back. And
yeah,
every time he comes back, he gives away 350 memberships.
I think he's working to try and save up for the. I mean, geez. I just love how Draven's not getting one. Either it's John and Draven. Oh, you know what? They might have it turned off too. Like, hold on, Wheel Snipe, before you keep dropping. I mean, you're obviously welcome to keep dropping it. But Draven, make sure you click on your YouTube settings and accept gifted memberships too. Make sure that's also. It might not be the case, but
I think it was Blackbeard was telling him to, and he said he did.
Oh, he did.
And then he said, "I swear I did."
Okay.
So let's hope he did.
John, you might want to look and see if you're turned on. So I guess he really is. Draven's really missing every single one of these. Sick Nasty says 345. Okay, let's go to the unicorn board real quick and take care of this. Make sure we're giving proper.
He is a unicorn.
Okay, so Wheel Snipe Selly, he has a super chat high of $640, by the way, before. He has the most gifted memberships. I'm gonna edit this right here at the top right of my screen. 345 gifted memberships. Okay, so Ron Navy and Will Sniper. Look, Perps has had big days too. I don't know if Perps got close to that. I wish I knew how many Perps did. Perps did at least like 250 once, I think. So Wheel Sniper added again. I heard some dings. But anyways, it's a great question, Ray G, about Debo and Ayuk and Pearsall. But the truth is, we just don't know. You know, I've no clue where I would draft Pearsall if he's starting. Because how much is he starting? But again, I don't know if C-Mac's out there and he wants to call in. Like I said, I don't know if he can slip away. But the odds of a team wanting to pay $30 million a year to Ayuk is slim to none. That's why the Eagles absolutely screwed the Niners on draft day, 12 minutes before the draft began, by dropping the $84 million guaranteed deal announcement of A.J. Brown and that put a freaking fork in the trading of Brandon Ayuk. And as soon as that happened, before the draft began, I stood up in my standing position here, and I said, oh my God, Ayuk just got priced out of a trade on draft day by the Eagles in a 5D chess move. And then I said, Debo's more likely to get traded now. And then what happened when the draft ended? We started hearing all the chatter when the Niners couldn't pull off a deal with the Buffalo Bills at the end. They freaked out, and they did. They panicked. This was not a design move. They panicked and sharted their pants and took Ricky Pearsall in round 1 because they expected to make an evening trade over the break between round 1 and round 2. And they didn't get a trade done or ironed out, so they took Pearsall too early. And good God, man, next day you heard nothing but Debo's more likely to get traded, just like we talked about on this show.
Yeah, they don't do very well at taking care of their players, that's for sure.
And this is the first draft. Look, I love Grendo and I like Pearsall. Those are 2 really good picks, by the way. But the Niners definitely, they almost punted like where they took them. You know, it was his first draft without Adam Peters.
Dejon, remember?
God, I can't believe they did.
We had said they should have ended up with Dejon and Pearsall.
Yeah, you could have had Cooper DeJean and Pearsall or McConkey at the very minimum.
Oh yeah, no, it's like an every year thing.
E111 says his name is not Draven, it's now Graven. He's still gray. He's still gray. If anybody's missing out on this besides Draven, because he has turned it on, make sure you turn on your accepting gifted memberships option in your Blackbeard or anybody. Can you tell them where you find that? I forget where that is located, but
yeah, Blackbeard let him know. Oh, he's putting it in the chat.
Anyway, thanks, Smitty, for the input on Pearsall.
Yeah. I appreciate you. Hey, Ray G, you're also a unicorn, by the way. I don't know if you noticed that. Let me put the unicorn back up. Ray G's given before massively. Look at this.
He is a unicorn.
Ray G's dropped a $2.50 super chat before on this channel. So Ray, you are very, 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 very appreciated here. Appreciate you, pal.
Oh, most definitely. Anytime, Smitty.
All right, bro. Call in anytime. The phone lines are wide open for you, and I got you in the system. You get in very quickly because I got you in the system. But call in more often, pal. We need you. All right, later. Later.
Sure. Later.
Yeah, so, man, Wheel Snipe City is just dropping wads all over the place. Did he drop another 50, or is that still the 50, like, ironing itself out?
I think it might still be ironing itself out.
Yeah. Jeff,
I wonder what happened to him. He just dropped the last 50 and disappeared off the phone and everything.
I don't know. He might not come back for another year. I don't know. He said, yeah, the fire pit might have gone out, or Graven season. Yeah, Draven, you're not getting a green name tonight, pal. Draven says, I promise. What did he say here? Draven, a.k.a. Graven, says, I promise when I sent the gifts, it said allow memberships to turn it on, and he sent another, and I turned it off and then back on and rejoined, and it didn't say anything about allowing gifts. I don't know if that's where it is, though.
Yeah. I don't know. The guy Pete 722 said I turned mine on as well, and then he said maybe it takes a while to register. So it could be something like that too.
It could be because I've taken away Bijan cards.
I don't know. That's true too. Yeah.
I don't know where Sully went. He was on the phone line and he just dropped 50 and left. I don't know if maybe
his credit card company called him.
Hello, may I speak to Wheel Snipe City?
Fraud alert. What's going on?
Please say your mother's maiden name. Snipe. Oh. Anyway, Draven's heart's broken. Wouldn't be the first time, Draven. Your heart was so broken last year, you didn't show up for about 6 months. and now you pop back in like nothing ever happened. No Bijan card for members, for memberships. Well, I don't know what else to talk about here, other than, you know, the news that's on the screen. A.J. Brown looking jacked and yoked. Look at this, man. This guy's absolutely ripped and shredded. Any talk we've been saying about, you know, oh, his knees are going to, maybe we just put that on hold for a year, because he looks absolutely insanely, you know, his knees concern me, but like, yeah, a lot of people are taking it too far. Like, his knees are a concern for the long term, not for 2024. I don't think you'll find much content, if any, where I say worry about him in 2024. But like in Dynasty, you know, you got to consider it, right? Like in Dynasty, he's had a lot of knee surgeries, a lot of cleanups. But in 2024, we're not worried about it. Like, he's a top 12 pick for a reason. Like, continue to take him there. Anthony Richardson says, I don't care if you're scared, Scotty. I don't care if you're worried, William. I don't care what you are. But I'm not changing the way I play football because I got hurt, and I commend that. That's the way I'd operate. What else we got? Brandon Ayuk seeking. Where is that at? Oh, here it is. Brandon Ayuk is seeking $30 million, according to our man Raj. So, he's not going to get that from the Niners.
Yeah, I mean, I'm team might give it to him. But.
Superfish wants me to check out the teams from tonight real quick. Okay, so Superfish is...
Rockout sent the super chat too.
Oh, did he? Okay, I'm sorry, Rockout.
Same.
It's hard to see. Hard to see straight. Does Draven not have a membership? He doesn't yet, Wheel Snipe. I don't know what's going on. I fumbled the bag, says Rockout with the $2 hauler. He says that, and then he never does. He tries to set the bar really, really low. This one's from Luke. Luke says, sup, Smitty, you got to bring the curls back. Oh, for when a $20 hauler drops? Yeah, maybe I do. I have been lifting. I have it on my Instagram stories. I have a whole workout like rack, one of those like Titan gyms that you pull out from the wall. They're heavy duty. You bolt them to the wall, pull ups and everything. And I started doing bench on there today and everything. So yeah, maybe I do that. Rock Out, go over the teams. Thank you, Rock Out, for the super chat. Appreciate you. And Superfish wanted me to do that as well. So looking at the 7 spot, which would be Superfish. Let's take a look and gander at that. Sick Nasty says, Will Snipe City to Saturn. Thank you for using your membership question there, Sick Nasty. Thank you for counting too. 345 is insane. Okay, so let me get my little highlight feature, little box, and go down Superfish's team. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Kyron Williams, Josh Jacobs. Couldn't start better than that. I love it. Waddle, again, weeklies, I don't mind Waddle here. Jaden Reed, I love him weeklies, that's great. George Kittle, love. I like his team, JSN. Jaden Daniels, look, Jordan Love and Jaden Daniels, you got a really good quarterback room. Blake Corum in weeklies is perfect. Jalen Wright in weeklies is perfect. It's a great weeklies team. I like it a lot. I'd say you're definitely, if I had to guess, in the top 5 teams for sure. A.J. Brown, Marvin Harrison Jr., ETN, Cooper Kupp. I mean, that's a fantastic quad. And Cooper Kupp in weeklies is better than in redraft or than in non-weeklies because, you know, he could be an elite top 5 wide receiver for like the first month and then fall off. But if he is, you're going to have a great shot in those first 4 weeks of winning $20K each one of those weeks. Kenneth Walker in weeklies is good. Kyler, I like that. You didn't have a quarterback until that point. You cuffed him to Harrison there. Brooks is fantastic in weeklies because it doesn't matter if it takes him half a year. He's going to get on his horse eventually. Ferguson's a good tight end. Eckler's pretty good in weeklies, better value in weeklies than in normal best ball. Jahan Dotson I like a lot as a bounce back. Luke Musgrave, Watson, Stafford. It's a good team. I like it. I'd say you're definitely in the mix of the top 6 for sure. I don't want to say higher because it's hard to say. The teams are so close, and I'd run out of top 3 spots if I gave you both top 3, but definitely like your squads. This 12 team's good. This Puka, Garrett Wilson, Pacheco, Diggs, Mixon. It's good, but I don't love Mixon. I don't love James Cook. It's just not my cup of tea, but you can tell it's a good team. This 9-spot, Breece Hall, Drake London, DJ Moore, Trey McBride. I love McBride, London, and Breece Hall. I'm not a huge DJ Moore guy this year. It's a crowded wide receiver room. T. Higgins worries me because he's holding out, and injury is probably pretty likely for one of the more injury-prone wide receivers because he's not. I don't think he's going to show up until close to the year starts. So I think he's going to get hurt this year. Worthy, I like Joe Burrow. Worthy. Caleb's not even horrible in weeklies because he can still score big games. Nick Chubb, I think, this is the one format you could draft him in because you don't have to rely upon him for the whole season. Weeklies is 1 week at a time. So it makes sense, if you're going to try and gamble on him. I don't think Chubb's going to ever bounce back. Kendra Miller is fantastic in weeklies because you don't necessarily need him to do anything right away. Of course, the more shots you get at winning the 20K, the better, right? But if you plan strategically for later half of the year type of team, you got Jonathan Brooks, Benson, Penix Jr. You could build a team essentially that is driven for the second half of the year to crush multiple weeks in a row. But at the end of the year, you're foregoing the first 4, 5, 6 weeks of the season. That's a strategy for sure, because each week is independent. Chase, Olave, DK, Malik Neighbors, Cooper. I hate these teams, so no thanks. AJ Brown. I can't stand drafting 5 straight wide receivers. It makes no sense to me. I don't care if anybody's doing it. I don't care. It doesn't. I'll be able to do that same wide receiver. I can rival that wide receiver room without doing that. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Kyron, Josh Jacobs. That was Rockout or Superfish's team. I love it. Jefferson, Barkley, Kelsey, Pittman, Keenan Allen, Christian Kirk. Not a bad team. I'm not a huge fan of Keenan Allen. Not a huge fan of the Christian Kirk pick. Tyreek, JT, Mike Evans, Kincaid, Kyle Pitts. It's not bad. Bully tight end's hard. It's not like it's the easiest maneuver to deploy. My team is Bijan, Debo, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, Anthony Richardson, Keon Coleman, Najee Harris, Trey Benson. I really, really like this team. Benson, Najee with Bijan. And then I got Warren later. I got Garendo at the end. My quarterbacks are Bryce Young and hold on, I just messed up my thing. Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, and Jalen Hurts. My running backs, like I said, Debo, Devontae Smith, Keon Coleman, DeAndre Hopkins, Leggett, Ricky Parasol, Roman Wilson. I really like my squad. Isaiah Likely, Goddard, and who is my other tight end? Kraft, which he's injured right now, but I still like the pick, given he's my third tight end. I'm a big proponent of 3 tight ends and 3 quarterbacks, and then just make sure you have 5 running backs, 6 is the max, and then the rest should be wide receiver locked in. No higher, by 1 or 2 wide receivers, though. Let's see here. Gibbs, Laporta, Mahomes. Look, this is an example of someone saying how much can you reach. Look, Laporta was a fat reach here. It's weekly, so he's got a little higher ADP. But tell me that Gibbs, Laporta, and Mahomes are not a fantastic top 3. It's great. Maybe this pick right here is what makes it feel a little light, and then you follow it up with Hollywood Brown and then Godwin. So Pickens, Hollywood Brown, Godwin's where I feel like it fell off more so than it's because of the reaching here. CeeDee Lamb, Josh Allen, Adams, White, Kamara. I don't understand that pick. It's weeklies, but I don't know. Aaron Jones. I don't know. I don't like the running backs enough. Christian McCaffrey, Ayuk, Nico, Stroud, Dell, Ridley, Stevenson, Njoku, Adunze, Singletary, Tyler Lockett. It's a good team. I don't know that I love it. So I'd say rock out Superfish. I'm not just saying this because you're in the draft and in the live stream. I'd say you guys are in the top 5. I think my team's in there too. My team is not always in there. I think I'm being objective. It's a good squad. I hate my team sometimes. So, but thank you guys for drafting. Man, these super chats or these gifted memberships are still rolling.
I know. So I missed the beginning of the show. So if it's something you covered, just let me know and I'll go back and watch it. On the topic of like going RB to start a draft, I like doing that. In terms of like, it just seems like every year there's more wide receivers that like have the potential to be a top 10 wide receiver. Do you feel that way too? Whereas like it seems like there's less and less running backs every year that have the potential to be that true like top 8 to 10 running back.
I don't.
Do you
Everything's
agree with that, or do you think
no.
I'm off, or?
I don't necessarily agree or disagree. I think that it's all a cycle. Like everything's a cycle. The running back died like 5-6 years ago. Everybody said, and I said no, it's not going to die. It's a cycle. It's going to get thin. Remember, there's no good tight ends anymore. There's no good tight ends. The tight end position is dead. Really? Look at it now. Laporta, Kelsey, McBride, Dalton Kincaid, Mark Andrews, Kyle Pitts, George Kittle, Evan Ingram, Jake Ferguson, Njoku, Bowers, Goddard, Hawkinson's not even a top. I mean, he's injured, but like Hawkinson, Kmet, Dalton Schultz, Ben Sinnott, Luke Musgrave. Like the tight end position has never been richer ever. It's so deep. Yeah. And so the RBs are dead. No one's gonna draft RBs in the first round anymore. There's no more workhorses. And Bijan and Gibbs both go in the top 12. You know, and granted we didn't see it repeat this year, but it's because there were two special running backs. But like workhorses, McCaffrey's still a workhorse. Bijan's a workhorse. Breece Hall's a workhorse, regardless of if he's like a hybrid of sorts. Gibbs is a hybrid, but he's 100% a workhorse. Anybody says Gibbs isn't a workhorse, you're defining workhorse differently than me. Workhorse to me is somebody that's working. They're getting utilized. They're a workhorse does not mean you have to be a big between the tackle runner that only runs between the tackles. You're getting volume. It's a volume horse.
20 touches. Yeah.
Barkley, workhorse. Jonathan Taylor, workhorse. Kyron, workhorse. Achane is a hybrid, so you can leave him out if you want it. Derrick Henry, workhorse. Jacobs, workhorse. ETN was absolutely a workhorse last year, whatever people say. Pacheco, like, what are we talking about? People are, there are only 4 or 5 workhorses left. I mean, I'm literally down. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like 15 running backs down, and they're all workhorses. So, Zamir White, workhorse. I'm not even talking about him. Benson's a workhorse. Jonathan Brooks is a workhorse. You're literally talking about 20 workhorses in the National Football League, and somehow people are like repeating this. There's only 4 or 5 true workhorses in the NFL. Like, I call cap on that 100%. As far as like your question was, do I think that what was the question again? This is a wide receiver.
Basically, my question was in relation to like the running back subject of like, can you start a draft like that? Like, do you feel there's more wide receivers that could potentially be like top 10 wide receivers than there are running backs that could fall into that? Like, I kind of feel like maybe, I don't know, maybe the number's not right that I'm giving you, but like, it seems like it's easier to rank the running backs, put it that way for me.
Okay, easier to rank the running backs. Yeah, I would say yes. Easier to rank the running backs. That's a great way to put it. But maybe like, that's a better way to put it. But if you go down to even Jacobs, I'm not saying he's number 1, but he's outside of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's number 10. So Jacobs is 10. He could easily. All those guys are very, very strong top 10 candidates, from Jacobs to Henry to Achane to Kyron to Jonathan Taylor to Barkley to Gibbs to. So those are all, like, I say those names, you're like, yeah, that's a top 10 running back right there. Right below that, ETN, Pacheco, James Cook, Rashad White, Kenneth Walker. And then the rookies, Jonathan Brooks, Benson, those are all guys, if they're getting starter carries, are also potentially top 10 guys. Zamir White, Stevenson could even be in there. So there's a lot of top 10 potential running backs, and it's just about ranking them. As far as wide receivers go, yeah, part of the reason is the aging out of some of them, like Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen, but it's still pretty deep, like CeeDee Lamb, Hill, Chase, JJ, Amon-Ra, Puka Nacua, AJ Brown. If anything, like, I think that it's just deep across the board. And part of the reason why I think the wide receivers are super deep this year, the running backs feel super deep this year, the tight ends and the quarterbacks is because we have a changing of the guard where the young is taking over and the old players are kind of like almost passing them by, but none of them are really ready yet. So they're all kind of present together. So you got Adams still existing. You got Evans still existing, Mike Evans. You got CMC still there. And so I think once those guys drop off, we won't see them. We'll see them drop out and drop off at a faster rate than we're reproducing them. And that's why the cycle happens.
I guess I'd probably also, like I was just kind of glancing at the list of wide receivers and saying to myself, like, Devonta Smith, his ADP is 30, but he could easily be a top 10 wide receiver. Tank Dell could be a top 10 wide receiver. And you could go way down the list and, like, Christian Watson could be a top 10 wide receiver. He's going ADP 83 right now, So I think maybe just, like, it just popped in my head, so I just thought I'd ask your opinion.
Yeah, no, it's a great question, but it's because of the cycle. Jonathan, thanks for the super chat. He says, it's all a cycle. Great take, Smitty. It's all a cycle, bro. I remember everybody said the running back was dead before Zeke Elliott was drafted. That was like the cycle, not this past. That was not this past cycle of the running backs dead. It was the cycle before that, and then Zeke got drafted, and it's like, man, we got so many workhorse running backs. People are out of their minds that say that. In the quarterback position, good God, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Dak was a top 3 quarterback. We got him at 9, according to ADP. Jordan Love, we can barely fit Jordan Love into our top 10 quarterbacks. It is this is the best year, I think, to draft fantasy football in a long time in terms of how deep the talent goes. It's like there's so much of it. And to have that across all the positions is kind of, I would say, one of the first times in recent memory that at least one position wasn't dried out. Usually the tight end position would be dry. It's like the changing of the guard's real. And once it changes over and these old dogs fall out, and think about it, like Kamara, Eckler, CMC, Aaron Jones, these are all 28-year-old running backs that turned 29. Cooper Kupp, 30. Diggs, 30. Just a plethora of players. Mike Evans, there's going to be like literally 15 big-name guys that crumble at this almost near the same time. And I don't know that we're plugging as many back in. So that's why the cycle feels the way it does.
And so people may even say, may say that about like the wide receiver position in the next couple of years. If 5 or 6 of those guys in the same season, just the bottom falls out, you're probably going to hear people say, "Oh, wide receiver position's dying now." So you're right where it's a cycle where people probably, jump to conclusions too much.
All right, Sebastian, you're live.
Yeah, I got a question in the context of mass entry best ball mania, like specifically maxing it out. You know how we don't love the wide receivers pretty much after London? That would be the Ayuk to like Waddle, Diggs, DJ Moore range, about wide receiver 11 and 19. What do you think of this drafting strategy, since we don't love them, is just to take the one at the highest possible ADP, like the one that fell the most if you knew you were going to go wide receiver in round 2? Pretty much just to make sure you're getting exposure to all of them.
I'm not really following what you mean.
So, like, say you're at 5, like, with Bijan, and then the board turns to, like, pick 16. And then you got, I don't know, like, Drake London there. Like, he fell. Like, basically, just taking the value in round 2, like, as far as ADP goes, taking the one that fell the most out of that group that you don't love if you had to go wide receiver in that round. So, like, say you're pick 20 and then you see Olave fall. And then you got, like, Debo versus Olave. Olave's a higher ADP, taking him. But then in a separate draft, you choose Debo if you're at the tail end of the round. See what I'm saying?
I mean, kind of, but like diversifying is like a must anyway. So like we're definitely not taking the same guys over and over and over and over anyway. So like I'm drafting my share of Debo a lot. I'm drafting my share of London a lot. Like I don't know, this doesn't sound like any sort of novel idea. But I will say that I'm not setting a plan of any kind in motion. And sometimes that might have me drafting a lot of a player more than, like, I'll be honest. I'm not trying to say I don't practice what I preach, but I'm more willing to take the gamble of saying I'm going to draft MHJ 95% of the time if he's sitting there in round number 2. Again, it's not that I don't practice what I preach necessarily. It's that a lot of people, like, I give advice to help people maximize their chances of winning. And I'm more willing to put it all on the line and lose every single league for the players that I believe in, like JD5 or MHJ. And I don't necessarily want to encourage that for people that don't want to make that decision for themselves. So at the end of the day, I diversify as much as I can. But there are certain players that if they kept falling to me, like if London kept falling to this Debo pick, I'm like in my example here, I drafted Bijan at 4, I picked at 21. I don't care how many times London falls to me at 21. I'm taking him every single time because he doesn't belong anywhere near there. So I would just keep taking the chance that luck will eventually dry out, and I'm just going to keep grabbing him over and over and over. But that's me. I'm not saying not to diversify. I am much more, oh my God. Silence. I think it's over.
Yeah, so I guess the context would be like you're in round 2. Barkley, JT, Kyron, even H-Hand might not be there. Like you have to go wide receiver. Like what I'm saying is, would you be okay taking the one that's just highest on the ADP, like meaning that they just fell for whatever reason, just to get to diversification rather than forcing a pick?
I'm never forcing a pick though. So you're talking a language I don't understand, because for me, I'm taking the best player available at every turn, and I'm not taking a wide receiver no matter what, because that's what you're suggesting. Like if I took Bijan, I am not forcing wide receiver. I'm not. I'll probably take one because all things being equal, I can find a Debo and feel comfortable with it, but I don't mind. That's why we got the tripod. I deploy the tripod all the time. You said that because you got to go wide receiver. I don't have to do anything. I could go Bijan and Kyron. In fact, I tried to do that in this draft. I tried to go tripod. I tried to go running back.
No, I'm saying like if none of the running backs are there, like you have to go. Like
you don't have to though.
It would be.
You could go Laporta. You could go Laporta early if you wanted to. It's early. It's crazy, but it's Laporta and Jalen Hurts with Bijan's fine by me. I don't have to force any of it, but I don't mind drafting certain players like Debo or obviously London. Maybe some shares of Olave once in a while. Adams would have been fine. I don't love it, but I do it. But I'm not taking Nico or Neighbors or any DJ Moore or any of those guys ever in the second round to diversify. I'm just not. I'll take them later on in some drafts if they fall, but I'm not forcing it, bro. It's just as simple as, to answer your question, it's as simple as best player available every time. That's the way my mind works. And diversification where I can, but I certainly don't always practice what I preach on that, because I'm willing to let it all crumble on some. Like, I can't tell you how many times, bro, I have won like 95% of all of my leagues. Years where I did like 30 or 40 leagues. I won like 95% one year, the Arian Foster year. It was like just hand over fist. Just like it was almost like I didn't even check some of the leagues that I just had too many. And then I have had other years where I've lost like 70 or 80% of all of them because I put it all on one player. And you could say Bijan was kind of one of those players, but he still was running back 9. It didn't really affect last year much at all because I had Gibbs in so many leagues, and even he, to a degree, didn't have as big a year as we wanted, right? He was running back. In most formats, Gibbs was running back. I have it right here. He was running back
9, I think.
10. But
yeah.
In context, he wasn't necessarily always run out there there was a time where there was like a wonderment, like of when he would be fully unlocked and unleashed. But I pretty much started him in the flex spot. I'm not going to lie, in all those leagues, expecting and waiting. But running back 10 didn't kill me. Bijan was running back 9. Gibbs is running back 10. I didn't lose any leagues on that. Breece Hall was running back 2. I crushed across the board. But the Bijan and Gibbs thing didn't kill me, but I did put all my eggs in a lot of baskets on the Bijan call and the Gibbs call and the Breece Hall call. So, but that's me. That's how I roll, and I'm okay with it. I don't have any regrets. I don't blame other. A lot of people will blame me and say, Smitty, I drafted Gibbs in all 4 of my leagues, and I drafted him in round 2, even though I didn't tell him to. And then they blame me. Like, I've no one to blame but myself. Other people will blame me, and so I don't care if I lose all of my leagues, because there's a real good chance I'll win all of them, if I hit everything. So that's the way
I'm not going to lie. I did plant my flag on Bijan. Like, I think, maybe only, 50% of the time I'll take CMC at the 1.1. Like, I don't even care. Like, I just don't like him. But Bijan is my RB1 as far as ADP goes, but I think Gibbs is my RB2 overall.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely taking my ADP, though. But, yeah, those are my guys, too.
This guy, JD5, I'm. The thing is, again, in the case of Bijan, the only way Bijan's going to burn me, and he's going to burn everybody, is if he got hurt or something. Like at running back 1 overall, even. Like Bijan's going to get you in a worst case scenario, running back 5, 6 numbers. Like you're not going to lose your league on it. JD5, you're getting so late right now. If he doesn't work out to the tune that I pump him up to be, that player, you're not losing a league over.
You count both.
You're not losing a league over. You're just not. I would say, looking at this board here, guys that I'm pumping up that you could potentially lose a league over given my hype, maybe Kyron, maybe Achan, maybe those guys could. I venture to say it's kind of your own fault, though, if you don't cuff them and protect yourself. So, at the end of the day, is Kyron going to lose you a league if you have Kyron and Corum cuffed together? I don't think it can. I think you're protected. But if you draft Kyron and you get pinched on Corum later, and then Kyron does get injured, and then Smitty was wrong on Kyron, I'm never trusting Smitty again. Well, I'm not going to feel that way because I got the combo. There's no more important slide probably right now, at least in the offseason, than this one right here, where it's like these are your must handcuffs.
That's an RB1 per start if you have both.
There's no safer running back in the National Football League than the running back 1 that is these 2 players together as one. Not 17 starts and 17 starts. Actually, one. You can only use one of them per week for 17 weeks. This is your guy. This is Corum. This is Kyron. This is potentially your most safe running back in all of fantasy football. So,
and then with Achan, you have 2 chances to cuff him or pair him with Mostert or with Wright there as well. So that's pretty safe as well if you deploy it that way.
Yeah, you know what I'm probably going to do.
What are you going to do?
Let's move this over. Whoa. Hold on. I got to get these. I got to get everything in order here. Hold on a second. Let's put Achan. Those arrows need to go in there. Corum. Hold on a second. Okay. I'm going to move this down. I'm going to move the Achan cuff down to 3. I'm going to move the CMC cuff up to 4. And I don't even know that it can stay there until we know, it's kind of a bold cuff right now. I don't know that Garendo's even, the cuff, but, this is going to be 3. This is the best. This is the 3rd best cuff in fantasy football. And the reason you see a tie, like a 2-way tie here, is because it's really almost a 3-way tie. It's right to Achan, it's right to Mostert, and it's all 3 together. There's 3 cuffs here. There's 3 variations. Yep. The smartest move is to just grab all 3. So
that's rare. You rarely see that where you can do that with 3 backs.
Yeah, so I'd say this is probably the third most valuable cuff. Yeah, it really is, because in the 2 ride and dies that people would see, Smitty, you're gonna have a lot of people losing their league if Bijan, like people said that last year, and no one lost their league because Bijan was running back 9. He lost it because of a couple other reasons. I won a ton of leagues with Bijan at running back 9. Anybody saying, Smitty, you're gonna lose a lot of people leagues if Kyron doesn't work out? No, I'm not. Hey, Smitty, if A-Chain doesn't, no, I'm not. You can. These are doable. Mostert's ADP. Let me tell you. Let me enlighten you. If you're a doubter out there about where you can get this kid, Mostert's ADP is 96 overall, running back 29, and the ADP of Jalen Wright is, good God, 146, running back 45. This is a free cuffing situation that you can reach an entire round to be safe, and you have yourself a top 10 running back lock. Dare I say, Kyron and Achane are maybe the 2, like if one of these guys falls to round 3, which Kyron might, then you have yourself, like I've said before, a situation where we're like, I could get Jamar Chase, Achane in round 2, Jamar Chase in round 1, and Kyron, and then cuff Quorum, and then cuff the Achane. I mean, really? I could get McBride and Mahomes still, or if you want to put Hurts in this spot, or you want to put Mahomes in 4 because in your league or whatever, you don't think Mahomes would actually fall because he only falls in best ball to 4 or 5 sometimes. This is one of the most insane teams you could build. Jamar Chase, Achane cuffed, Kyron cuffed, Mahomes, Kincaid in 5. I mean, how do you not win a championship with this?
Chris Smitty, who do you like more, the Dolphins backfield or the Rams?
Rams. But I love them both. But the Rams. Kyron Williams could be, as much as everybody's scared of him, he could be the number 1 running back in the National Football League this year. It's mind-boggling that people don't even consider it. It's head-scratching that people think he might not be the most equipped running back in the National Football League to lead the league in both rushing yards and rushing touchdowns. And McVay doesn't use 2 running backs. McVay, even if Corum takes over, let's say Corum's the guy, and I'm dead wrong about Corum, I don't even care. Like, I'm still winning. That's the funny part, is you could come into my live stream in week 5 if, let's say, Kyron went down and go, ha ha, Smitty, I told you. And I'm going to say, no, we told you. Because the message here is very clear. Now, the only thing you'd be able to say to me at all, if Corum got in there with a top 5 running back for half a season, the only thing you could even remotely say to me is not even that, because Kyron would have done so good for the first half of the year that at the end of the day, it's running back 1 overall. But if let's say Kyron goes down early, and you say to me, hey, I could have allocated my resources differently, taken Corum, and then drafted, a wide receiver like London or something, and you had me miss that opportunity or whatever. That's the only argument you'd even remotely have if Kyron went down early and Corum balled out, because my message is clear as can be. There is no drafting Kyron by himself at all. And even in existing dynasty leagues, I've even proven it in a draft that we just had Travis join, and he wasn't there for this trade yet because we added him after. But I went out of my way to go get Blake Corum because I didn't have the draft pick to get him, and so I downgraded my Kyle Pitts into Dallas Goedert to get Blake Corum because I had Kyron Williams. Did I want to do it? No. Did I need to do it? Yes. At the end of the day, could Goedert be just as good? Like, he could. It was a smart move for me to protect my future running back stable that is a top guaranteed 1 to 5 running back in my mind, having both of them.
What'd you say this trade was again?
It's right before we had you come in to replace that owner.
Yeah, you got Corum.
I traded. I believe I kind of forget the exact trade. I think it was merely. Oh, I think I got. I'm not positive on this. I might be mixing up two trades, but I'm pretty sure this is it. I think I think it was $500 in waiver wire ad drop coins or whatever, and we have that's the total is 500. So I think this is the one trade. I may be mixing. Hold on, I gotta get this thing to. So I think I got his total 500. I got the Corum pick. It was the 1.12 or the 2. Hold on.
See, it says you drafted Corum with a 2.1.
2.1. Okay. So 2.1. This thing will not focus. 2.1. So 2.1. Did I get the fab dollars with that trade, or was that the other trade?
All I'm seeing is that you just drafted Corum. So
okay.
I don't see the trade. I just clicked on Corum.
So 2.1 in Goddard, and then I gave up Kyle Pitts.
Let me find him.
And I think this is the trade that I also got the $500. So it gave me 1,000. So I controlled the free agent market.
Oh,
right?
here it is. Here it is. I got it right here. So you got the 2.1 in Goddard for, it looks like Pitts in a 2026 second rounder.
Okay, yeah. So that wasn't the there was another trade I did that gave me $500 in the. Okay, so it was a 2026 second.
Yep.
Yeah. So not ideal in Dynasty to be going from this to this, of course, but getting this 2.1, and then I took Corum. Do you see the trade right after that? So right after that, I traded to get the 2.2, and then I took JD5 right after that, the 2.2 out.
You see, I was on your roster, so all I'm seeing is I just clicked on Goddard to see that trade. Let's see. If I can find it, I'll let you know.
Yeah, so I traded right after this trade. I was working on two trades at the same time. I wanted to get that Corum. So I wanted to get Corum and JD5. So I traded for the 2.1 and the 2.2. The 2.1, I took Corum. The 2.2, I took JD5. And I did it back to back. I want to say the JD5 move. I want to say I gave up. I forget what I gave up.
Trying to find it right now on the league page.
I forget what I gave up. But that's the sacrifice you got to make to get Corum, and I don't think it was that crazy of one. I mean, number one, as much as I love Kyle Pitts.
Was it with Ron?
I don't know. No, I don't think so. 2.1? No, it's a 2.1 or the 2.2.
Oh no, this is 2.5.
Yeah, it was a 2.2. No. 2.5, I took Pearsall.
2.2. Okay. So
and I'm Debo.
Right,
and I'm Debo.
I'll let you know when I find
it. All right. Let me go over to Marsman Rock Out. Marsman Rock Out. I'm going to be leaving here in a minute because, I meant to leave like an hour and a half ago. We've been live for 2 hours. Go ahead real quick.
I got it.
Go ahead. Hit me with it real quick.
So you got the 2.2 this year and $500 in fab.
There it is.
And you gave up a 2026 first rounder.
That's what it was. 2026 first. And I don't even care about it. 2026 so far out there. So I got rid of that. I mean, to me, JD5 is a first rounder. Yeah. So and to get that
500.
Yeah, then I got the 500 fab, and then I gave up the fab to get something after that. I want to say it was a wide receiver, or it may have been the Ricky Pearsall pick. I forget. No, I forget. I was making moves like crazy.
You traded this $600 in fab for the 2.6.
And I took Pearsall. Yeah, so I got 500 in fab in that deal, and then traded 100 more of my fab, my 500. So then I went down to 400. But I was using that fab currency to get Ricky Pearsall. And the reason I was getting Ricky Pearsall is because I had Debo. And my wide receivers are a little bit of a concern. So I have Debo and Pearsall now, which is,
then you moved up one more pick. Then you traded the 2.6 2026 third rounder and $50 for the 2.5 and the 3.6.
Yeah, that's right. I moved down to get that extra pick, and then with that pick, the 3.6, I think I got. I forget what I got, but anyway, Pearsall, Debo. I have Hopkins, who's older, I think. I have Hopkins, I think, and then I have Christian Watson, who is looking better and better. You know, I'm liking. So those are my wide receivers, but I love this Pearsall Debo combo because this could turn into two different starters, or it's such a crafty dynasty cuff because if anything happens to Debo, Pearsall immediately jumps in. My running backs in this league are Hall, Kyron, and I have Corum, and then I have Achane. I don't have any of the cuss for Achane. I ran out of time. My quarterbacks is 1 QB, JD5 and Burrow, but it is 1 QB. And then my tight end is Goddard. So it's a really good dynasty team, in my opinion. I got amazing RBs. I got Corum cuffed. I got Debo with Pearsall. I got Watson, who's upside. JD5 and Burrow. I feel really good about it. It's a good dynasty team. There's a lot of moves, though.
Yeah, that makes it fun, though.
All right, rock out. What you got, pal?
Can I give you a scenario real quick?
Yes, sir.
Let's say there's 2 players in the next 8 picks in the rankings, and you're trying to get 2 of them, and you're like at the 11th or 10th pick, and you're trying to get that second player, and you're trying to decide which one to go with first.
So you got back-to-backs after you?
Say you have like 11, or no, let's say you got like 9 or 10, and you're competing with the 11 and 12 players.
Okay, so this is the 11 pick. This is the 12. This is the 13. This is the 14. And you're saying that I have the 10 and 15? Is that correct? Okay, so the question is, how do I decide which player to take? I mean, very easy. Which one do I think could have the most likelihood of falling to get both of them? But, I mean, give me the names and I'll tell you whether it's even worth doing that. Like, I don't know that I'm going to play that game if I really want the first guy no matter what, and I'll be okay with getting a different player at 15. But I'm not going to play games getting, you might get screwed out of both of them. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it kind of just comes back to the same old, I know you're tired of hearing it, but best player available. Like, who's the best guy to take at 10? And you can try and manipulate if you can, but you could get screwed, bro.
Let's say DK and Devontae Smith.
Okay, and then but you're wanting to get both of them? I mean, DK's got a much greater chance of going ahead, and he's the guy I would pick anyway ahead of. So I'm not even needing to play games there. I take DK, and there's a nice shot that Devontae Smith falls because he goes in the 4th round. DK goes in round 3, so there's definitely you piece it all together like that in your mind. You're like, okay, Devontae Smith lower ADP, DK higher ADP. I like DK anyway. Boom, 2 reasons to take DK ahead of him. Something like that.
Or let me think.
Like
McLaurin and Walker.
I mean, depend on my wide receivers. Depend on. I mean, I think it just comes down to best player available incorporates your team too. It incorporates the flow. So if I need a wide receiver 3 versus a backup RB, I'm going McLaurin. Plus, I feel like If it's best ball, there's that factor in, that to factor in because wide receivers are more prevalent. Then I'd probably go McLaurin, and I think Walker probably falls. But to give you an example from like a rookie perspective, so this particular scenario I had in this draft, when the draft was going this way, and we were at 1.12, 1.11, 1.10, etc. And then this was 2.1. I had this 2.1 pick, and I was trying to maneuver to get this 2.2, but I didn't have it yet. So when it came down to I already had Burrow in this 1 QB league that we're talking about just a second ago, I want JD5 more than anything. And when I took Corum, there was a lot of comments like, I can't believe you didn't take JD5. I can't believe. Ron was one of them. He's like, I can't believe you just passed on JD5. But Ron doesn't know I'm in the middle of inking this deal to get this. But I did have to make maybe a 3-minute decision before I had the other trade accepted, where I may only get one. And so given I had Kyron Williams, but I already had Burrow as my starter, it was more important to cuff Kyron to Corum than to take JD5. Yeah,
exactly.
So I did it, and then 3 minutes later got this trade done. Boom, JD5. So like that's kind of how you gotta look at all the pieces, bro. Is JD5 a little bit more valuable than Corum? Yeah. So that was one where best player available actually was affected by my team need. You know what I mean? Even though JD5 I do have ranked higher and more, important. I think JD5. I'll be honest, as much as I love Joe Burrow, JD5's putting Burrow on my bench at some point by midseason, I bet, if not earlier. So, sorry, Burrow.
Might be by week 6, maybe.
Yeah. Is Perps in here? Someone said Perps. Oh no, he said Pugs. Pugs are cute. I thought it said Perps is in here. Same thing. Pugs are cute, Perps. It's all the same. All right. Hey, boys, I'm going to go here. Jordan Blue, you're on the phone line here. I'm going to go back to Sebastian, give him 30 seconds. But, Jordan, you got a good minute. I don't want to rush you, but I am getting tired. I got to watch Dune Part 2 as well.
Yeah, no worries, Smitty. No worries. I got a question for you. It seems pretty obvious that Alvin Kamara is performing year in and year out.
Are you reading?
But No, not at all. Did I sound professional?
Wait, it sounded like you're reading. You're like, hey, Smitty, it has been year over year that Alvin Kamara, 4-score. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Nah, for real, though. Alvin Kamara is performing for us year in and year out. And I just had an interesting part to your cuff with Miller, just because we haven't seen it with Kendra Miller yet. And Jamal Williams doesn't seem like he's going to emerge as anybody that's going to eat out of that workload. But what about Taysom Hill as a potential cuff candidate? And it's also, he's going to dip into the tight end role. So you could actually cuff him as a tight end. If Kamara goes down, Taysom Hill is going to get more touches. I just thought that was an interesting cuff today I thought of. I wanted to bring that up to you and see what you thought.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I look at it quite that way. There's some logic there, but look, Taysom Hill's always a show favorite of ours. I don't know at what point he drops off and doesn't. It was a good year for him. It really was, but I don't know what's in store for him this year. I'm going to be honest. I don't know that this will be a repeat of. I'm not saying. Well, he's almost a play it by ear. Let's see how he looks in August and what role he has. Because if they're not using him, deploying him, I don't think we can make very many assumptions. And he goes undrafted, no doubt about it. I don't think I've seen Taysom Hill go one time. Have you? Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I'm the only one picking him up.
Yeah.
Getting picked up.
So I mean, it's a good move. In theory, but I don't know that it'll be applicable anymore. We just have to wait and see. This is definitely the cuff. He's not a running back anyway. You know what I mean? Will he be used a little more? Sure, but I I don't know. I can't. I'd say it's more like a crafty, tight end grab. Depends on what his position eligibility is. There's a lot of factors, but it's certainly logical. But it's not something I'd jump on till we see what his role is. Because he might not even have a role at all. Like, it's tough to know.
Yeah. I love the way he totes the rock. I think he's running back 2 behind Alvin Kamara. And it's almost a guarantee that he's going to get an uptick in touches as well as carries. So I like Taysom Hill. I always have in this fantasy world because he could pop out and get you 2 touchdowns in 1 week. So
he can.
And with Alvin Kamara going down, he's definitely going to get an uptick in touches somehow, some way.
Bro, he's been a big show guy for going on 3 straight years. He's listed as QB on Underdog, says Hoosiers, and he's right. I just checked. So he's not even someone you can cuff like on Underdog per se.
So he's a quarterback. He's a quarterback.
I mean, that's what he is.
He's listed as a quarterback.
He's listed as a quarterback on Underdog. So
okay.
It'd be tough to take him on Underdog at all because this is not somebody you want to pigeonhole in a quarterback spot.
At quarterback. At tight end, though.
Right.
That's a better pick.
But I think everyone's scared to do that. I think ESPN won't go near that because they had so many complaining Calebs and fantasy Karens that blew a gasket. When my show, I was one of the only people that was creating multiple content on, hey, draft Taysom Hill, put him on your bench, and just wait. He'll become a QB and win you a league. And sure enough, that season, not last year, the year prior, he got into the lineup as a quarterback for multiple games, and ESPN got so many complaining Calebs, and we're celebrating on the channel. And people were calling us cheaters. I had people in my expert leagues calling me a cheater.
Oh, wow.
And I was going off on a rampage on like multiple live streams in a row, saying just because you didn't have the foresight, we did. And they're like, just because everyone's like, you got lucky, no, we didn't get lucky. This is a strategy that I created content around. And we got Taysom Hill into our lineup, and then ESPN made that call of taking away his eligibility. However, they left it alone until you needed to make a roster move. But if you needed to swap out anybody, it said kind of like when someone's on IR that shouldn't be on IR. It's like you need to correct your tight end position, but it would leave it. You'd score. You wouldn't have an illegal lineup. But if you needed to move anything, that he wouldn't ever be able to put him back. And it was a coward move by all these league management platforms. Coward move, just straight up cowardice. Why? Because do you take away someone's eligibility in baseball after they earn it? Do you take away someone's eligibility in other sports after they earn it? Taysom Hill earned multiple position eligibility, and all these crazy nuts out there were just so bent out of shape because they didn't have the foresight or the balls to play it through, and they just cried like little babies about it. Just cried until ESPN did something about it. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, he technically probably should have had it for the whole next season. I don't know if football does it that way, but that's how the other fantasy sports do it. If you qualify at positions, you get it for the whole next season. And then if you don't play those positions enough, then you drop back to whatever you played.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lame move.
But hey, keep an eye on it. If Taysom Hill becomes a big part of the offense, and he's listed as RB on your platform, then go for it, bro. I don't hate it. I just I think Kendra Miller is pretty good though.
I don't need him at RB. I need him at tight end. For if I draft high on a tight end like a Kelsey or something like that on his bye week, I'm gonna need some insurance, and Taysom Hill is the best tight end insurance out there because he could pop 1 week, and he's not just gonna lose you your week either. He may get you a couple of points, but you shouldn't be dependent on him to win you your week. I just like him on the back end for when he pops and people don't see it coming.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean,
I like all the gadget players.
Look, he had 9 TDs last year.
Same guy. He was that same guy.
He was a big
another position.
He was a big show guy in 2023, or not 2020, 2022. He had 9 TDs. He had 9 touchdowns. He had 2 passing, 7 rushing. In 2023, He had 401 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns and 1 passing touchdown. So not as big of a 2023 as a 2022. But, I mean, he's always capable. The problem is the day you need him, is he going to be a big part of the offense that week? That's the only catch and caveat for you, pal. But anyway, all right. All right, man. Appreciate you. Later.
Thank you.
Call in anytime. Sebastian, you got 15 seconds. And I mean business.
Smitty, we will not agree on this take one single bit.
Let me hold my hand over the hang up button. Go ahead.
This is the year Tyreek busts and Jalen Waddle will finish as a wide receiver 1 again. Purely based on volume.
I mean, I'm not going to hang up on you on that. I don't have Tyreek Hill necessarily busting this year, but look, these speedy guys, they don't always have the healthiest ending to their career. It's not always as predictable, like, hey, he's going to be this age and drop off. Those hamstrings, as you always hear people say, is like an analogy, they get paper thin because they're firing off in a different way. And Tyreek Hill doesn't run. He sprints. Every step he takes is a sprint. He's just got that weird twitch. And it's rare. And Deshaun Jackson couldn't stay healthy, and he still kept trying to come back. It wouldn't shock me, so I'm not going to disagree with you on it, actually. I'm not saying I'm predicting it or avoiding Tyreek Hill, but I certainly feel like Tyreek Hill and CMC in a similar fashion are not a put all your eggs in one basket player. Like, I'm going to take a lot of Jamar Chase, even though he's been getting hurt too, but he's still younger and all that. I'm not putting all my eggs in Tyreek's basket, so I'm not going to hang up on you on that one. Not to mention, I had, every year I have concerns about it. Like even last year I had concerns about it. Not avoiding them, but I certainly feel like one of these years we're going to get hit bad by the Tyreek Hill, hammy. I don't know. We'll see. All right, later, Sebastian.
Waddle's the league winner this year.
Well, I'm not as on board the Waddle part, but I do think that Tyreek's a concern in the next year and a half. But that could be month 1 or it could be a year and a half from now. Like the window's there. Rock out. Final thoughts. Rock out.
No, you're good. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Later, bro. Appreciate you. Travis?
Yeah, I was going to ask, I probably just forget, we probably covered it, but on that, handcuff board, whereabouts would, Walker and Charbonnet fall? Is he still a must cuff to Walker, or is it, more of a wait and see what the situation is? Or
yeah, I mean...
They almost feel a little bit forgotten.
He's ranking right in the middle.
Obviously, Walker's... Okay, yeah. I see him there now. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that. To be honest with you, look, every time I look at it, I want to move it, and we'll see how good Shipley cements himself in, or maybe he doesn't at all. Chase Brown and Moss might actually deserve to be right here. Looking at it, it's easy to argue it. If Lloyd becomes, Jacobs is banged up right now. If Lloyd becomes very involved and he jumps up Spears and Pollard. But some of this is the reason Vidal's so low is because I don't want to cuff him. I just want to draft Vidal.
Right. Yeah.
If Shipley gets in there, does he really become Barkley, or is he kind of do they run multiple running backs? And that's why he's kind of low until he proves it. Spears is kind of standalone. I don't want to cuff him. I just want to draft Spears. So that's kind of why he's down there. Lloyd could climb. Sharps could climb. Kendra Miller. Algier, he's probably going to be low-end running back 2 material if he's starting to maybe high-end running back 2. So that's kind of why he's not third or fourth or second.
We said with Braylon Allen, it's because Abanacanda's still there, right?
Yeah, that could change.
Don't know how that'll shake out.
That could change. Jalen Warren is really high because... Quite honestly, he could be better than Najee Harris. I mean, I love Harris this year, but give me both of them. I love the cuff. Mm-hmm. Monty and Gibbs, I love cuffing the 2 of them, but you can definitely standalone draft Gibbs, standalone draft Monty, but I would say there's almost like a tier break, and I might even create one after Monty, Gibbs, and Warren Harris. Then it's kind of like a little bit of a tier break because I don't know that any of those other guys have. Maybe Chase Brown. I think maybe I moved Chase Brown all the way up to like under Warren, right under Warren.
That's an interesting one, yeah.
Maybe I'll do that.
So if you're drafting Walker, are you 100%, 90% of the time? How often are you making sure you have Charbonnet?
I mean, it depends on the ADP.
Yeah.
I guess Walker's ADP is so late too.
Assume that you can get him pretty easily. Like you'll take him instead of taking a shot on someone later.
Yeah, almost every time.
Where it's not going to affect you.
Almost every time, yeah. I'm always trying to get Warren and Harris. I'm always trying I'm always almost going to the ends of the earth to get Corum and Kyron, obviously. But I'm almost kind of going to the ends of the earth to get Connor and Benson. If I have to pick one, I'll take Benson and then draft another player if Connor gets snagged and be happy with that player because there's still some good talent there.
Okay, and then what was your thoughts on Brooks and Chuba? Is that just kind of like, is that more like, you think Brooks is going to be the starter pretty quick?
Yeah, it's a good one. It's not on here.
I do.
It's not on here. It really should be. It's probably the only one I don't have on here that should be on here. The thing is, I don't really care about Chuba. I don't know that I'm drafting. I think I'm just taking Jonathan Brooks by himself all day long. I don't hate.
That's what I'm doing a lot of.
Yeah, I don't hate Chuba, but like Chuba, it was like he had to really work to get what he got.
He did all right last year, but yeah, it did seem like it was kind of a struggle.
Yeah, but it's like sheer volume. Giving him what he got. Like I think he wasn't very productive in the grand scheme of things. He just had pure volume. So Walker Sharp
3.8 yards per carry.
Is Algier? I mean, just because of Bijan's name, I don't know that I'm shoving Bijan and Algier. Like Algier to me he's good. I mean, the year prior he was Bijan before Bijan's arrival. He was really good. But I don't know that I feel. I think I'd rather have Kendre Miller over Algier. So Monty.
I think Algier's ceiling is Cap. Put it that way.
So I think I'm gonna.
Algier probably have a safe floor, but not much of a ceiling.
I think I'm going to put Chase Brown, and Moss third on the secondary list. So I'm moving them around as we speak right now. So it'll be Monty, Gibbs, Warren Harris, Chase Brown, Moss. And it's almost like a tier break, so I might put a little tier break in between. So I think Monty, Warren, and Chase Brown are kind of in their own tier. And then the rest of them are not necessarily like go to the ends of the earth to get it done. I think that's the way I would look at it.
Yeah, I like that move with moving Brown up because, I like Moss too, but Brown's very interesting if he gets a shot.
I know I got
kind of similar to Warren a little bit.
Let me copy that over here. All right, so I'll put a little tier break here. So this tier break here between those guys. And then there's probably a tier break from, I don't know. I haven't figured out what I'm doing with this McCaffrey-Garendo thing because it's kind of like it's such a bold statement right now. And
yeah, especially the way Shanahan is too. Like, who was it? Trey Sermon, who drafted him in the third round, and then Eli Mitchell was the guy.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know.
I might keep my balls on the table here and just leave that there, but it definitely is something to keep in mind that could change. But so a tier break almost deserving, if let's say this ends up playing out that way, you could almost say tier break walking from McCaffrey into these next three: Monty, Warren, Chase Brown, and then tier break. So I'd probably say that. And I guess I should say tier break between Kyron. I mean, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's not deserving of a tier break, but maybe I'll just leave it as the top 4 tier break. I don't know.
Top 4, yeah. Either way works. This is pretty good.
All right, Travis. Appreciate you, man. How's the knee, by the way?
It's all right. I mean, just keeping resting it and waiting for they got to go and figure out when they're going to reschedule me. So we'll go from there.
All right, man. Well, appreciate it. Thanks for manning the fort tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. Later.
No problem. Talk to you later. Bye.
Everybody appreciate you. Super chats galore tonight. Moondog, Rock Out, Pete, Rock Out, Wheel Snipe, Moondog, Wheel Snipe, Rock Out, Wheel Snipe, Ray G, Wheel Snipe, Rock Out, Wheel Snipe, Luke, Rock Out, and Coble. Monsters. And then gifted memberships. Good God. Let's go through these. I'm afraid to even pull it up, to be honest with you. Oh my God. Sick Nasty, this is where you can check your work. Wheel Snipe dropping 50. Wheel Snipe dropping 5. Wheel Snipe dropping 10. Wheel Snipe dropping 10. Wheel Snipe dropping 20. Wheel Snipe City dropping 10. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 20. 10. 20, 20, 50, jeez, 20. I think he disappeared because his wife walked down to the fire pit and said, what are all these alerts on my phone from the bank? 5, 50, 20. Jeez. And then he vanished. So I don't know what that equals, but someone can add it up if they want. Look at this guy, just monster. Straight up monster. Who else gifted though? I don't want to overshadow anybody that may have gifted in between. I don't know if anybody did. I couldn't tell. I think that was it tonight. And then the celebratory messages. We had Grant celebrating 5. Grant, are you still here, bro? I'm so sorry. Bijan or Hall at 5. Been mocking Bijan and Kyron. Bijan or Hall at 5. I'd probably go Bijan if push comes to shove, but I would definitely rotate them if I had 2 leagues side by side, just to give you an idea. Grant, are you still here? I hope you are, bro. And then Sick Nasty celebrated his 19-month membership, saying Wheel Snipe to Saturn, which I read that one. Thank you, Grant. Grant, I hope Grant's still here. That'd be wonderful if Grant's still here. You guys are amazing. We got 164 of you in here. 62 from Twitter still. 100 plus from YouTube. Hit that thumb up button. 2 hour and 23 minute show. Sick Nasty said 320. I may have missed one though. I think you were right on the 345. I was trying to drag him over. So I think it was still 340. I'm gonna leave it at 345 because I'd hate to shortchange him. I was trying to drag him over and I was trying to eyeball it. Yeah, I think I missed something. It's 345. I'm leaving it at 345. Record by Wheel Snipe City. All right, I'll see you all later. Appreciate you. Jeez, can't even see. My screen's like completely full. And yes, somehow a couple of you didn't get one. Make sure you turn on your accepted, I'm accepting gifted memberships or you won't get one. I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you. Appreciate you all. This one goes out to the fives. You guys know I love fives.
There are 2 5s? KD 5? AR 5? There can't be.
Oh no. They're gonna cross streams. Thanks to my mods. Appreciate you all. Thank you, Coble. Thank you, Hoosiers. Thank you, Shamona. Thank you, Blackbeard. Appreciate you, pal. Blackbeard says he counted again as 340. I'm leaving it. I messed up. I'm sorry. So, Sick Nasty, you were correct. Ryan MC, we'll see you later. Superfish, appreciate you. Hoosiers, appreciate you. Pete, we'll see you later, Pete. Phil, we'll see you, Phil. Later, John. Later, Blackbeard. Later, Superfish. Later, Hazelnut. Later, Morgan. Later, E11. Later, Ryan MC. Later, Charles T. Charles T in the building. Where you been? All right, deuces.